What's going on, Drinking Buddies? Brand new one coming right at you. But real quick, you know what time it is. Time for a word from our sponsors. I don't know why I'm doing the pre-roll this way this week, but I am. Okay, enough of that bullshit. First and foremost, we are brought to you by the video versions of It Now We Drink. The video versions are available on Vimeo for 99 cents an episode, or $6 a month will get you unlimited streaming of all the video versions. There's nudity, there's facial expressions, there's weird editing bullshit. So check it out today at www.anwd.net/videos. It's a lot of fucking fun. We are also brought to you this week by our friends at Vinyl Me Please. Vinyl Me Please is the Record of the Month Club, the best damn Record of the Month Club. In fact, every month, Vinyl Me Please features one album that is essential to the modern vinyl collection. Each record is pressed exclusively for Vinyl Me Please and has features you can't get anywhere else. Things like bonus tracks, inserts, colored variants, and comes packaged with a 12x12 album-inspired art print and custom cocktail pairing recipe. If you're a longtime drinking buddy, you have heard me talk about Vinyl Me Please. It is such a rad record club. It's not like old school record clubs where like they tie you into contracts. It's month to month, no strings attached, cancel anytime. And you know how much we like no strings attached around here. So check it out today at www.joinvmp.com/ANWD. Once again, that is www.joinvmp.com/ANWD. And last but not least, we are brought to you by our friends at Loot Crate. Loot Crate is a monthly mystery crate that delivers the best in geek and gaming gear. From collectibles, apparel, tech gadgets, art, and other epic gear. It's like Comic-Con in a box. For less than $20 a month, you get 60 items that include licensed gear, apparel, collectibles, and unique one-of-a-kind items and more. You have till the 19th at 9 p.m. Pacific to order that month's crate. After that, that's it. It's over. Lights out. You can't get it. It's gone. Like dust in the wind and shit. So get yourself some real epic gear, some exclusive stuff from Loot Crate at www.trylootcrate.com/ANWD. And make sure to enter the code BRIDGE10 to save yourself 10% on any new subscription. Drinking with us this week is comedian/Xbiz Associate Director Drew Fox. Drew and I just get really fucking silly on this episode. Just 2 hours of us being goofballs, talking about porn, comedy, drinking. It's all over the place. Sit back, relax, pop a cold one, and enjoy, drinking buddies. Hey, Drew, what's going on?
How's it going, Matt?
Welcome. We finally got this shit together.
Fucking A. Sorry about the delay. I'm glad I'm finally here.
Cheers. After your overlords finally let you come.
Yeah, well, you know, I mean, it's a good idea to, make sure that it's doing this kind of thing isn't going to get me fired the next day. So
yeah, that's a wise move. I mean, doing a podcast was like, oh, hey, I'm doing a free podcast and I'm now unemployed.
Yeah, never a good idea. I'm back to Postmates.
Like, hey, Matt, can I co-host your show since you got me fired? It's the least you could do for me.
Yeah, I'm sure you want to squeeze 3 or 4 more people in here every time you do this.
Yeah, especially another Jewish voice.
Another Jewish voice. This is your slightly shorter haired doppelganger in here.
2 Jews and porn stars.
That's actually not a bad name for a podcast. Two Jews and porn stars. Or 2 Jews, 1 porn star.
And then we just be like, oh, we have clean tests, by the way. We're just going to make a scene out of it, too.
Yeah, exactly. I'll get pass tested every week just for this.
Like, hey, girl, it's a content raid and a podcast.
Yes. And it's actually, I mean, the color scheme in here and everything, this would make a pretty good set.
Well, if I fall on some harder times.
Yeah, why the hell not? You got nice white walls and you got a nice black leather couch. Like this is about half the scenes that I view on a daily basis look just like this apartment.
And I've proven that fluids come right off that couch. So.
Well, it's good to know. I'm glad I'm sitting on this chair over here.
Oh, yeah, where every performer who's ever been on the show sat.
It just occurred to me that, every performer on the planet has sat in this same chair. So,
and some of them have had that mic in their mouths.
Well, good to know. I'm glad you don't have a popper on it then, so I can get right up close.
Oh, yeah. Hey, they all have tests.
Yeah, fair enough.
I mean, I got to warn them that you were on this mic, actually.
That's true. I'm not. Although I don't think pass testing tests for cold sores, so I don't.
It does not.
No, so there you go. So I'm not actually protected at all here.
Nope, not in the least bit. I mean, you're going to be around long enough. You're just going to get herpes anyway, so.
Hey, listen. I mean, it's, what is it? It's occupational hazard?
Yep.
Yeah.
Soldiers get PTSD for going to war.
Exactly. Well, you know what? I'm just going to back up here just a little. No.
Hey, in all reality, the only STD I've ever gotten was from a civilian. So,
hey, listen. I mean, the couple times I've had chlamydia, it had nothing to do with porn. So there you go. There you go.
That's right where I was.
It was funny. I was out with one of the other people that I work with, and we were at a bar, and we got into an argument. Her more than me, with a couple of guys at the bar, and one of the guys at the bar that she was talking to actually, like, the question was, would you rather get chlamydia or get a girl pregnant? And this guy kept trying to argue that he'd rather get a girl pregnant than get chlamydia. And I couldn't understand, how could you it's one pill and then you're done.
Or one push down a flight of stairs and you're done.
Yeah, well, that's true. Okay, that's a fair point. But hey, listen, I'm old enough. Actually, you might be as well. I remember the first time I had it. It was back when they used to do the chlamydia test the old-fashioned way.
Oh God. Oh
yeah, that wasn't fun.
So millennials, you have it so fucking easy.
Yo, you have no idea the way they used to do it. Let's just say certain things shouldn't go in certain holes. Actually, I shouldn't say that because, I mean, there are a lot of fetishes out there. But from my perspective,
that was not consensual on my part.
No, certain things that long should not go up holes that narrow.
So we're just going to tell you. This is just how it goes.
Okay, yeah, you go ahead.
So back in the day, back in ye olden times before the internet, in the 90s.
Yeah.
When you wanted to get tested for chlamydia or gonorrhea, they would swab your urethra.
All the way in.
Twice.
They put it in. Well, I don't know. Or either that or my doctor was just a real dick, but no pun intended. But he take a Q-tip that's about 9 inches long, and they just jam it right up your dick hole, and they, like, swab it around for a while, and then they pull it out, and then they say, okay, brace yourself, and then they just jam it right back in again. And literally, the next time I got tested, which was like 6 months later, it's like, oh yeah, it's just a urine test now. Thank you for giving me chlamydia. It's like getting sent to like World War II in like July 1945. It's like, oh great, thanks. You're gonna send me to the Pacific now.
The worst part about it is, when I got that tested, I was clean every time. At least if I had the disease, but well, that was worth it. I found out. Nope. Completely. I was having nothing but protected sex at that point. No, I had very little chance of my dick being dirty. But at least STD test or sex ed in the States, they were convinced you of you have unprotected sex, you're just getting AIDS.
Yeah, no, I mean, hey, listen, at least you got sex ed. I've talked to people here. It's crazy how different it is down here than back, because I'm from Canada. In Canada, you know everything by the 5th grade. They get really into it. And here it's like half the people I talk to, they didn't learn anything.
Well, yeah, it depends on where you grow up in the States. I grew up in Chicago, so they're scare tactics.
Yeah.
Just horrible scare, slides of horrible HPV outbreaks.
Wait, I know if you grew up in Chicago, did you ever have that guy that Mulaney talks about in his last special, that bitten binder guy, the stranger danger guy?
Yeah.
With the mustache and the cowboy hat.
Yeah.
So he does I don't know if you've seen that last special.
I haven't yet.
He does an entire bit about this J.R. Bittenbinder or whatever his name is, who's apparently a guy with a mustache and a cowboy hat who came to schools in Chicago and told them that they should fall on their back and kick pedophiles in the nuts if they could.
We were living in constant fucking fear.
That's true. It's Chicago. I love Chicago. Don't get me wrong. Chicago and Toronto are very similar cities. I enjoy both of them.
I have not been to Canada.
You should go. Canada's a lot of fun.
I know. French Canadian girls are really hot.
Yeah. Oh, dude, there's no more fun place in the world than Montreal. I lived in Montreal for a couple of years. There's literally no more fun place on the planet. I just spilled a little beer on myself. I just spilled a little of my first beer on myself. So that's where this is going.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Drew's going to be topless by the end of this.
Oh, God. But topless. I'm going to need to be bottomless soon.
Wouldn't be the first guest. This is why we're on Vimeo and not YouTube.
Good plan. Do these get uploaded to Pornhub too?
No, those motherfuckers.
No. We never say anything bad about Pornhub. Is a fantastic organization.
Yeah, they're a fantastic organization who felt I was not porny enough to monetize.
Well, you know something? They're still the wonderful people at MindGeek. I have nothing bad to say about them whatsoever.
I have nothing to say.
Awesome. Everyone knows where their bread is buttered.
Yeah, just go back to previous episodes where I might have done some bad mouthing.
All right. I'm going to steer clear.
You should steer clear. I'm also old school enough where I have.
Yeah, exactly. I'm still.
I have the old school stigma of their old business model.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, they've had some interesting developments lately. We actually just went to they're like getting into like, we're going to start sponsoring cultural stuff. We went to they had a big Pornhub art exhibit downtown. I don't know if you went. It was actually pretty interesting.
Weren't they cleaning up fucking oceans too?
Yeah, they're putting a lot of money into a lot of charitable stuff, and good for them. You know something? I mean, porn should give back. Well, porn does give back, actually. I should.
Porn gives a lot.
Porn gives a lot. I shouldn't say that. Porn gives a lot. Porn gives more than most industries. Porn is the happiest place on earth.
I mean, for fuck's sake, a sex worker gave more money from nudes than Bezos donated.
Is that true?
Bezos donated under $1 million. He only donated like 680,000.
Oh, for the Australian wildfires? Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know what because I know there was that one girl, but
she raised over $1 million.
Yeah. I can't remember her name. Something Ward. She wasn't a porn star. She was like a
cam girl
or something. But
that's still porn.
No. Oh, for sure. And then there were absolutely it is. There were a couple more too. Riley Reid did one. I'm not sure how much she ended up raising, but she was also giving out nudes for the Australian wildfires. Then I tried to give out nudes to help charity, and nobody wanted to see me naked. So.
See, I just did the opposite. I'm like, I'm taking my clothes off unless you guys donate.
See, that's what I should have done. By the way, I can swear on the...
No, not at all.
Okay. Fudge!
We are a family show.
Yes, we are. We're family. I can pull my dick out, but I better say darn.
Well, how do you think families get made?
That's true. That is a very good point. I mean, you could be pregnant with my kid right now.
Oh, man, that ass, baby.
Oh, my.
I already took a horrible shit earlier.
Oh, I was looking when I walked in the door. So, yeah, I was checking you out.
It's a cute dumper, I gotta say.
No, I went on Twitter and I put up like a poll, like, should I do this thing? And everybody said I should. And I'm like, all right, I'll take a nude picture of myself and send it to somebody if they want to donate. And so then I actually put out the thing. I waited 24 hours. Not one. No one was willing to give even $5. So I guess my career will also be in the porn adjacent as opposed to performer side of the business.
See, what you should have done is gotten someone to blow you for Australia.
Well, again, I don't know how much money that would raise. I don't know how many people want to see that.
Somebody's into it.
Somebody would, I suppose. Is it somebody I want to blow me, though? That's the question.
Well, I mean, they're doing a good thing, too.
Blowjob's a blowjob.
Hey, just look up. As long as they don't have facial hair, just look up. It's fine.
I tried that once when I was, I think, 18. I'm like, yeah, I'll let a dude go down on me once to see if I'm into this. And then like 30 seconds, I used to do a bit about it on stage. And like 30 seconds in, I realized I was closing my eyes and imagining that it was a woman. And I'm like, okay, this probably isn't for me.
Did you finish though?
No, that was the problem. I got like 30 seconds in and nothing was happening. And I'm like, all right, I guess now I know. I was bummed. I could have been like 50% more of the world that I could have, or 100% more of the world that I could have, included in my dating pool. And
right. And that percentage of the world just, likes to fuck.
Yeah. Oh, what a bummer that was. Oh, well.
I mean, I've talked about it a couple times. Like, I'm often amazed the gay community gets anything done because you have two dudes with both have dude sex drives in a relationship. Like, how do you guys get anything done?
I would never. I mean, listen, there's a reason why a lot more people get laid on Grindr than they do on Twitter.
Right.
Although Eaton too now, apparently. Wasn't there was just something I saw where it was like some guy like picked up another guy on Grindr and like chopped him up and ate him.
Hey, those are the risks.
Yeah, that's true. I suppose that's the risk anywhere you go in the world, though. There was a famous thing in Canada that happened a few years ago where a guy like chopped off a guy's head and started eating him on a Greyhound bus.
Wasn't there a guy in Canada like who seduced someone and chopped him up too?
Yeah, Luca Magnotti. He's actually apparently getting out of prison soon. He like chopped them up, ate part of them, and then like mailed like other parts of them to like elementary schools and shit all across Canada. There's a Netflix documentary, I think, just now that just came out about him, and I believe he's actually, because Canada's weird. Canada will let you, like, even the guy who like decapitated the guy on the Greyhound bus and started eating him, he got out of prison in like 5 years because they said, well, you got to be crazy if you're chopping people's heads off on a Greyhound bus. So he's saying now, let him go. Yes, that's you know what? I mean, I'm a big Bernie guy, but that's the downside of socialism is they will let the cannibals out early.
Right?
Yeah. And take the free health care. Watch out for the cannibals.
I'm just amazed none of those guys made poutine out of their fucking victims.
Oh my God, that would be so good. These excellent, like, human ribs.
Just shredded.
Just shredded in poutine with gravy and cheese curds. That would be really tasty. All right. I know where we're going after this.
But they closed down Smokes.
What a bummer.
I was so happy when that fucking place was open because you could Postmates it to here.
Dude, Smokes was, and I lived, like, at the time I was living right near Hollywood and Vine too, so it was like right down the street, and it was, and I didn't even know they had one because Smokes is a big chain in Canada. Like, there's a ton in Montreal, there's like 4 or 5 of them in Toronto, and I got here and I went to like my first year here, like a Canada Day party that just had like a bunch of like D-list Canadian celebrities at it. But they had, like, they went all out where, like, they had, like, all the Canadian beer, Molson Canadian and Moosehead beer, and they had smoked poutine cater it. And I'm like, fuck, I can get real poutine here. But it's not quite the same. You know what? The cheese has to come too far. It's not squeaky when you eat it, so it's supposed to squeak. That's the way poutine's supposed to work. But
goddamn shame.
Yeah, we're getting a little off porn here, though, aren't we? Well,
that's how the show goes.
That's how the show goes. Poutine porn.
Why hasn't that been made?
I think somebody needs to make poutine porn.
Woodrock and your fellow Canadians, get on that.
Yeah, there are a lot of French Canadians in the porn industry. At least one of them knows how to make a cheese curd.
Or some source, just fucking go shoot it up in Montreal.
Oh my God. I miss home. I really do. I mean, in the summertime, not in the winter. I don't miss it at all. But I'd like to be able to visit. I can't visit home for a while. I'm still I'm still here on temporary visas. I'm still waiting for my final green card to come through. And until the process is finished, I can't leave the country. So otherwise, you got to start the whole thing again. So.
Why don't you just marry an American?
I was married to an American. That's why I had to start the process all over again. I was married to a U.S. citizen, and then before the process was done, we split up, and so I had to start all over again.
You should have been like, just ride it out for a little while longer.
Yeah, well, I don't want to get too in depth into this, but I needed to go quickly. That was not.
Were you Johnny Depp?
No, she was Johnny Depp. I was Amber Heard.
You're beating her?
Pardon me?
You were beating her?
Oh, wait, no. I thought it was, she said he was beating her.
She said, but it turns out she was actually beating him.
Oh, then yes, I was Johnny Depp then. Sorry, I didn't realize that was where that story had turned around. Then yes, I was Johnny Depp in that situation. It was a nightmare. That's marriage number 2. So
I think I'd take the beatings from Amber Heard.
She's pretty fucking hot.
She is pretty fucking hot.
She's pretty fucking hot, yeah.
She can't hit that hard. She's got no body weight.
No, and I mean, yeah, but then Johnny Depp is, I mean, like 90% bracelet, so I don't know how much mass is in there.
Just block.
Yeah, that's
true. So break your hand on your bracelets, bro.
The amount of effort that guy must put in just to walk out of the house.
I'm just curious how he gets through airport security.
Oh my God, that must just be, well, no, but those guys, they all get to like go into like special terminals and shit, so they don't have to deal with all of that. I just wonder if he was like before he was Johnny Depp, when he was just, I'm assuming Johnny Depp's his real name. Maybe his name is like Johnny Mortenstein or something, but I'm wondering if he was like the bracelet and necklace guy and scarves back when he was just like before he got eaten by that bed in Nightmare on Elm Street.
No, his real name is John Christopher Depp II.
Ah. So there's this Johnny Depp Sr. out there somewhere. Yeah. That guy must get laid so much just by being Johnny Depp Sr.
Well, I'm sure he looks like his son to a degree too.
Exactly. And he's just, I'm Johnny Depp. He can just, he'd be like, they're doing a sequel to Benjamin Button. And so it's all makeup.
Oh, I would just be like, I'm from the future, girl.
Yeah. It's a good plan. Now I got to hope I get old and have a really famous son.
Well, you're not going to do that by knocking me up.
That's a fair point. That's a fair point. Well, you don't have a staircase here though, so I'm kind of screwed anyways.
I mean, it's just around the corner.
All right. Yeah, but I gotta navigate you over there somehow.
Oh, I'll dive. It'll be like a slip and slide down the stairs. Just gut first.
Awesome. Oh, I gotta catch up on some drinking here.
Like, now that we're talking about murdering babies, gotta drink.
Well, I mean, come on.
I mean, that's an effective way to murder babies too. But I mean, it's not fully effective. You may just end up with a dumb kid.
Oh God, what a nightmare! Actually, I don't know. I'm glad nobody's come forward yet. I suppose it's possible I have one or two out there somewhere, but nobody's come and found me yet.
You're not making enough money yet.
No, exactly. Yeah, I'm trying to keep it that way. That was the nice thing about it. I'm divorced twice, and it hasn't really affected me financially at all because I never had anything to take to begin with.
Well, you should be going after them for alimony.
Yeah, they never had anything either.
Well, you got to marry up, man.
Yeah, seriously.
You can't just be like, you're a citizen, I'm in. You got to be like, oh, you're a citizen with a good job.
That was my biggest mistake, is I married across. And no, don't. Find yourself a rich spouse, male or female. No judgment either way. Whatever gender you are, whatever gender they are, just make sure they have a lot of money.
And don't make you sign a prenup.
Yeah. Well, you don't sign a prenup.
Right.
They'll try to make you.
If they're smart.
Yeah, but just get up in arms. No.
I love you. This is going to last forever.
Yeah.
I've had 2 marriages before this, but I love you.
By 2 marriages before this, a combined 3 years across both marriages. So
Jesus.
Yeah.
How long were the relationships?
Oh, that was my big problem. I was with the first girl for 6 weeks before we got married. So,
how the fuck did this come about?
Oh, this was interesting, actually. I was living in Mexico at the time, in Playa del Carmen. I had a job down there, and so I was down there for a couple of years. And she was from Sweden, and she was on vacation, and we had a real fun weekend together. And so somehow I convinced her to give up her life in Sweden and move to Mexico. And 6 weeks later, we were married.
She did understand that you're not America, and that's not America.
Like, no, and gosh, she was so out of my league too. I mean, talk about marrying up in at least one way. Like, she was 10 years younger and about 100 times better looking than I was. I don't know how the hell I pulled that off. I do know how I fucked it up, but I don't know how I pulled it off to begin with.
You guys, she just gave up her life and moved.
Yeah, exactly. Within like 2 weeks, she had given up her life and was living in Mexico.
Was she a criminal on the run?
You know something? Now that I think about it, I think that's probably what it was. No. I used to be charming in my slightly more youthful days. It's all gone now. Now I'm just a decrepit old drunk.
Well, cheers to that.
Cheers to that.
That's what I'm getting by too.
Yeah, well, you know what? We're living in Hollywood.
I know. I was out last night and it was just like, oh, the fucking talent in this town sometimes.
It's crazy. It's you know something? It's so different than anywhere else. I mean, I've lived in, with 7 different cities in 3 different countries, and I don't ever want to leave LA. Why would anybody want to leave LA? You meet people who are like, LA sucks and I want to get out of LA. Who the fuck are these people who come here and think this place sucks?
The people who had their dreams shat on.
Yeah, well, you know something? Believe me, take it from me. You have your dreams shat on no matter where you are. If you're living in Omaha, your dreams are still getting shat on.
And at least you're not hollering at, the daytime bartender in Omaha.
But I mean, you still have to live in Omaha.
Yeah.
I don't know what an Omaha 10 is, but I'm guessing it's like a Hollywood 4.
Yeah. And they probably don't fuck on the first date.
Well, I mean, I can't afford to date anybody who fucks on the first date in this town. Are you kidding me? I am very poor. Well, this is LA. You need money in this town.
You'd be amazed.
Okay, that's true.
Sometimes it's like, oh, we're having a good time at the bar. Oh, we're fucking cool.
I live in a closet right now, so I don't have anywhere.
Do you literally live in a closet?
Literally live in a closet in a house with 6 other dudes. So 6 other comics. So
Jesus Christ, you're from fucking Showtime's I'm Dying Up Here.
It's exactly where I'm except for I'm 40. So
so it's even sadder.
I'm just where I want to be. Exactly. I am a 40-year-old living in a closet in East Hollywood. So, and I can't even see the Hollywood sign. They built a building across the street from my house. At least I used to be able to walk out of the house and look up and be like, hey, at least I'm here. Now I walk out and it's like, there's an ugly building in my way. It fucking sucks.
And the Scientologists probably own it.
Oh, I'm sure they do. They keep trying to get me every time I am at Vermont and Sunset. It's just nonstop.
Yeah, I used to live in Fountain and Edgemont, so
they're smart about it too. They find like the cutest ones and then they put them on the street corners. And it's always some cute girl walking up to you with a big smile on her face, going, "Hey, how you doing?" Nice little pressed white shirt, and they're like, "Hey, you want to take a survey? See how you're living your life?" And you almost get sucked in. Almost. I've thought about it. Just for something to do on like a.
Well, you know they offer free acting classes, right?
Do they really?
Oh yeah.
Isn't that how they got a lot of like the people in the 70s?
Yeah. It may help your comedy career.
Yeah. Well, you know what? The problem is the amount of money you need to keep putting in order to get far enough for it to help your career.
Yeah, but you may find someone that you can marry up to.
Ah, that's true. Hey, maybe I'll just sign one of those billionaire contracts. I'll join the Sea Org and then I'm all set.
Hey,
cut off everybody in my life that I know and I'll become a Scientologist. Maybe that's kind of the backup plan. If everything else in my life just goes totally to shit, I'm just going to join the Sea Org, and then at least I know I'll have a roof. And
right. I mean, it'll probably be about the same size as your closet.
Yeah, exactly. And I'll probably have to, be around the same number of people and all the time and
swab the decks.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, okay, yeah. They're going to put me in the RPF. That's going to be the rest of my life. Is I'm going to be wearing heavy black clothing, using a toothbrush to clean a bathroom, like that chick that Tom Cruise dumped after they made her his girlfriend.
Which one?
The what's her name?
Katie Holmes?
No, the one before her.
Nicole Kidman?
No, there was one in between, an Iranian Persian American actress. I can't remember what her name. Naza something. I can't remember what her name was. Anyways, it was the whole thing where they literally like interviewed her and set her up with him, and they went on a bunch of dates together that were all very curated. And then one day he was bored with her, and so he didn't even they had his minions go and be like, "Yeah, you're never going to see Tom again." And then they put her to work with that RPF where they make you do horrible backbreaking labor for 3 years.
Can't imagine Tom Cruise's dick is worth that.
I imagine it's worth, I don't know what his net worth is, but
yeah, but if you don't get to see any of it.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know what she walked away with in the end.
I mean, he's a tiny man.
He is a very tiny man. I'm only 5'8". I shouldn't talk, but I think he's 3'6" or something, right?
Something like that.
Yeah.
But then again, if porn has taught us anything, tiny men often have giant penises.
That's true. It's the tall man, short man thing, right? But Hey, listen, he's doing Top Gun 2 now. I just saw the commercial for it. Top Gun Maverick.
Yeah.
Goose is back. No, Goose is not back. That'd be awesome if Goose was back.
Just Anthony Edwards needs the fucking work.
He really does need the work. They should have zombie Goose.
Or at least some flashbacks.
Yeah, but the problem is, how do you have a flashback with a guy who's got none of the hair?
How did they de-age Leia?
That's true. I just watched the new Terminator movie. And they de-aged Schwarzenegger in that too.
That's the governor of California. Why Arnold? Why?
Well, there's a lot of money in being the Terminator, and he has a lot
of money already.
Yeah, he's got love children with ugly people all over the place. Maybe.
Yeah, that is always something that boggles my mind. Is you're Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Why? Yeah.
Why are you fucking down like that?
I can only imagine proximity was it's like Maria just must be everywhere. And it was just the 45 minutes that Maria was out of the house one day. And it was that's the only thing I could think of.
Jesus Christ, man. Call a call girl.
Yeah.
She'll take care. Well, actually, with Schwarzenegger, they may have kept it.
Yeah, that's true too. I think maybe when you're at that level, you're poking holes in things. If you're banging, guys who are worth $500 million, I would. I'm just saying.
That's what you do, anal.
Yeah. Why can't I? You know what? If I could fake a love child with a major Hollywood celebrity and cash in, I'd probably do it.
Oh, I definitely would.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I'd bang Rosie O'Donnell if it would fix my life.
Oh my God. In a second, in a heartbeat.
I mean, it might be.
Come on. I saw it with the Xbiz, and she looks okay in leather, I guess.
Blue Chew. Blue Chew, that motherfucker.
Oh my God, that would be one hell of a night. I bet you it would be fun. I bet you secretly it would be super fun.
I mean, there's only one way to find out.
Yeah, all right. Rosie, are you out there?
I mean, this wouldn't be the first time that we've tweeted at celebrities on air, yo, wanna fuck? When Crow was on Crow 13, we tweeted at Barbara Eden because he has a crush on her to this day.
Genie.
Yeah.
And?
No response.
No response. What a bummer.
We don't have blue check marks, so she'd probably just...
Yeah, I didn't even see it. Yeah, what does Barbara Eden even look like now? She probably looks still pretty good.
I mean, for 70.
Well, yeah, I mean, what's her name still looks good? Wonder Woman.
Linda Carter?
Linda Carter, yeah, she still looks pretty good. And Florence Henderson still looks pretty good.
Isn't Florence Henderson dead?
Oh, maybe she is dead now. She still looks pretty good, though, or surely.
I'm not letting you walk away from that. I understand you're into dead people.
Yes. Okay. That's fair. You caught me. I'm sorry. You guys all know now.
Did you go fucking dig her up?
Yes, I did. Actually, she's at Hollywood Forever. So she was at Hollywood Forever Cemetery.
Now she's in your closet.
Now she's in my closet. I have 3 shelves in there. She's on the top one.
Well, you can go get the rest of the Brady's and stuff them all in.
Hey, Marsha's kicking around somewhere.
And half of them are dead, right?
I don't know. I mean, the dad is dead.
Maureen McCormick's still alive.
I think most. Actually, I don't know. I think only the parents. I think only the Mike and what's her name, Florence Henderson, are dead. Oh, and probably Alice.
Oh, Alice is definitely dead.
Alice, don't sleep on Alice. Alice was a secret. I bet Alice was a freak. I bet you secretly.
I bet Mr. Brady was plowing her.
She bossed those kids around. She was a dom for sure.
Eve Plum is still alive. Marsha is Maureen McCormick. What's the other fucking daughter's name?
Jan.
No, that's Eve Plum.
Jan, Marsha, and the one with the pigtails. I can't remember. I love a podcast where we're just looking things up on Wikipedia.
Susan Olsen.
Great. Susan Olsen, is she still going?
I mean, she was born in 1961. She should still be alive.
I would hope. Although, I mean, that's not a given these days.
Yeah, she was a child actress.
Yeah, and also, I don't know how many helicopters she's flown in, but it's dangerous to be a famous person these days.
Yeah, especially when you do stupid shit.
Yeah, that was sad.
Oh, it's sad as fuck, but it was also negligent as fuck.
Yeah, well, I mean, there was it was interesting though, because I mean, it sucks that happened, and God, it really sucks that his daughter was there. But it's interesting,
well, all those fucking kids.
But they knew that there was, because I mean, this thing came out where it's like Kobe and Vanessa would never fly in the same helicopter together for just this reason. So like they knew that this was like a thing.
But they also got special clearance to take off because of the cloud
with the fog. Yeah, that was really fucked up. It's you know what? I was trying to figure out like a way to compare it to any other situation. And I can't really think of any other situation.
Stevie Ray Vaughan.
Yeah, Stevie Ray Vaughan. Literally, yeah. There's or Thurman Munson or John Denver or any of the people. But I just mean like somebody who's like that mega a star in their city, like dying in that much of their, like he was just retired and just starting his second.
He's like a year older than you.
Yeah, exactly. It's crazy. It's like, I mean, I was thinking like maybe if like Tom Brady, like if that, like that's the only other parallel that I can think of that would just destroy an entire city. Or like, I mean, Jordan, if it had happened like 20 years ago, but
yeah, sadly, no one gave a fuck when his father showed up dead.
Well, I mean, we can get into conspiracy theories about gambling debts if you want to. So.
Yeah, I've heard it too.
Oh, yeah. Well, you know what? Same with, I mean, what happened to Cosby's kid? Something weird going on there too.
Well, hopefully someone was getting revenge on Cosby.
I hope so. Well, but then I feel bad for the kid. It's not his fault. His dad is a druggy, rapist asshole.
Yeah, well, shit happens.
My favorite conspiracy theory right now is still the Stevie Wonder can see one. I'm obsessed with it. I like a couple comics have done bits about it, so I'm trying. I don't want to do anything that's just stealing somebody else's bit. But have you know this is a real conspiracy theory?
I did not know that.
This is an actual thing. Is that there's a conspiracy theory? There's a whole bunch. If you look online, there's a whole bunch of evidence. Take a look. If you're Googling something, look up Stevie Wonder, Paul McCartney microphone.
Paul McCartney mic drop. All right.
Now watch this video.
So the audience will be able to hear it. So I probably just got a virus from going to this site.
I think it's on YouTube as well, but.
Well, yeah, but it's a link into a YouTube.
Okay.
He might have felt the wind.
Dude, why? He catches the microphone.
It wasn't falling fast.
Yeah, but he put his arm out. How did he know where the microphone was falling to? Well, Paul goes by him and then he reaches his arm out. I think he can see. He goes to NBA games and sits in the front row and like follows the action back and forth.
Well, just because you're blind doesn't mean you can't see anything.
But he's supposed to be like completely. He's not like legally blind. He's like fully blind. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure he's blind. I just think it's a hilarious that even exists in the world. That there is an entire like wing of the internet dedicated to evidence that Stevie Wonder can see. He apparently loves taking pictures of people.
I mean, his retina's detached. So
when he was like a little kid. But
I mean, he might have cyber eyes at this point.
If anybody would have access to the technology, like the Geordie LaForge technology, I guess it would be him.
Right? Some big fans like, Stevie, I have this experimental technology. And he can't just be like, Look at my cyber eyes.
Yeah, no, exactly. It's there was the Hannibal Buress thing about it. He's just maybe he was just young and he put on a pair of sunglasses and he just never, he just likes going like this. And nobody ever said, "Are you actually blind?" So he's never actually lied about it. He's just always worn sunglasses.
Or he's fucking Daredevil.
That would be fucking amazing if it turned out that he was Daredevil, or like that dude in Rogue One, where he's just like he's
got the Force.
He's got the Force working with he's just always that would be fucking great.
He's using the Force to play music. Just fucking amazing. It's like you could be fighting crime or something. Nah, just want to make some music.
Has anybody ever actually watched his hands on the piano, or is he just looking at the keys and they're just playing? They're just playing. Yeah.
The piano's playing. He's like. Clapping above his head. Like, wait, what?
That'd be pretty awesome. He's just pressing pedals.
Stevie Wonder, the first Jedi.
The Stevie Wonder. Hey, you know something? They're making another trilogy. I think they're missing out if they don't go in that direction.
At least give him a cameo.
Yeah. I mean, they gave everybody else a cameo. They put them all in stormtrooper outfits and let them be in the movie.
Speaking of, are you a Star Wars fan?
I am a Star Wars fan, although I have not seen the Rise of Skywalker yet, so please do not spoil it for me.
Oh, sorry, I was going to spoil it by saying it's garbage.
Yeah, I've heard. But then I've also heard from people saying that it's not that garbage. Like, it's garbage compared to... Now, again, I haven't seen it, so I don't know. I've heard it's garbage compared to, like, Force Awakens and Last Jedi.
But those were garbage, too.
So you didn't like those, really?
No, not at all.
I mean, as compared to, say, the prequel trilogy?
So one pile of shit does not make something not a pile of shit.
Yeah, I disagree with that. I think that there's like a very giant pile of shit can make a somewhat large pile of shit look like a much smaller pile of shit.
When you're stepping in, it's still on your fucking shoes and you track it everywhere.
Yes, but I mean, it could just go up to your ankles, or it could go all the way up to your neck, is what I'm saying. I'm just saying it's all relevant.
Either way, you're still in a pile of shit.
See, I liked Last Jedi a lot. I enjoyed it. Force Awakens was all right, and it was cool because it was basically just the first movie all over
Well, and
again,
that's my big beef. So my big beef with Force Awakens is, how many times are you going to do A New Hope?
But then that's why Last Jedi was awesome, because Last Jedi, Rian Johnson just said, fuck every Star Wars trope that there is. We're just gonna...
but that was my beef with Last Jedi was, you guys are part of the mouse. Marvel can manage to put 22 movies semi-coherently together. You guys can't put fucking 2 coherently together.
Yeah, but I kind of liked that it was like Luke calling it a laser sword was fucking amazing. It's like, how much more of a fuck you to George Lucas can there be than him being like, I'm gonna walk out there with a laser sword like that? It's so, or like he's milking gross looking cow things. Like it's so off-putting and so like fuck you to he literally has the Snoke.
Yeah, they just murk him.
He literally has Snoke call Kylo Ren a stupid cosplayer. Which I just think is the funniest thing in the world.
I was just irritated by the lack of continuity between the 2 films.
Okay, that's true. The tone definitely, and the whole Leia flying through space thing was pretty dumb too.
Well, they're like, well, we can't kill her now.
Yeah, well, and if they had known, then they could have done something cooler with it. I'm curious to see how they use her. Again, please don't tell me. I'm curious to see how they use whatever scenes they had shot with her in the third movie.
Well, basically what I can tell you about the third movie is they once again go, fuck you to the previous movie.
Well, that was the whole reason they brought Abrams back. It was because everybody was too polarized over it. I'm more of a Star Trek guy anyways than a Star Wars guy. I'm a Star Trek obsessive, so I'm just glad Picard is back.
Why can't we just have original IP? Why?
You know what? I don't necessarily disagree with that either. There hasn't been a lot of original science fiction lately, unfortunately. Although, I mean, I'm looking around here. I mean, you got a lot of comic book stuff here. And they're doing cool stuff. I liked the Watchmen show. It was great. You didn't like it?
I mean, I watched all of it. I enjoyed it. But there were just some things where it was like, eh.
No, and I know Alan Moore is like, he got totally fucked on the whole thing. And so
he got fucked on the whole thing back when Snyder did it too.
Exactly. Well, but I mean, he's been fucked by DC even when he was doing the Superman stuff. He'd already been fucked by DC and he was just doing it as a favor. And I get why he wants nothing to do with any of it, even though he's also just like a crazy person. But
he's a genius crazy person.
He's a genius crazy person, which I used to think the same of Frank Miller. Now I'm starting to think he's not the genius that maybe we all made him out to be.
No, though Sin City, obviously I have the whole run of it.
He's great, and
Whole run of it right there.
No, and Dark Knight Returns was fantastic, but
And his run on Daredevil.
yeah, it's just lately, I don't know. Now he's just like some weird, crazy fascist.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at his material, well, he was always a weird, crazy fascist.
That's true.
Miho throws fucking her shuriken are fucking swastikas.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's always been a crazy fascist.
Yeah, that's true. Fair enough. And Alan Moore's always been like a weird, like, I'm going to live in a mountains, like stronghold socialist. So
Yeah. Oh, yeah. V for Vendetta.
yeah.
V for fucking Vendetta.
Oh, what a terrible movie that was.
I enjoyed that movie.
Really? You like that movie? Oh, I hated it.
Why?
Because I liked the book and I just didn't like the movie.
See, what I really enjoyed about that movie was Hugo Weaving's performance was so good that, though you could not see him emote through the mask, you could still tell what the fuck he was doing.
Well, Hugo Weaving, I mean, listen, the Wachowskis, they know what they're doing with Hugo Weaving. I mean, even though the second two Matrix movies were garbage, he was still...
They made sequels?
They're making another one too, which is just, yeah, I cannot believe. And he's back. Keanu's doing all his old shit now. Bill and Ted's coming out this year.
Oh, we're just pandering.
Oh,
pandering.
No, I'm excited for that one. I'm excited for a new Bill and Ted. I know original IP would be nice, but I will happily take a new Bill and Ted movie.
I'm going to watch it.
No, only because I think Bogus Journey is an even better movie than
Excellent Adventure.
Yeah,
I agree. Bogus Journey's rad.
Bogus Journey is fucking awesome. Actually, I mean, they used to do that with movies that were like they take like a cool first movie and then they'd be like, okay, well, it made some money, so here, just do whatever the fuck you want. Like the Gremlins 2 is the same thing. Gremlins 2 is fucking amazing. Gremlins 1 is awesome, and then they said, okay, Joe Dante, here's like a way more money
and Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, and a fake Donald Trump, and it was fantastic.
Is Phoebe Cates still in the second one?
Yes. Yeah, they're working together in the
That's right.
The equivalent of what would be, I can't remember what the guy's name is, but it's something it's Clamp, I think is the guy's name. But
Phoebe Cates.
Oh yeah. Now I mean, you hear Phoebe Cates and you think Fast Times. Like you can't not, like, the second you hear her name, the first thing you think is, oh, red bikini.
Yep.
Yeah, and then you have to think about Judge Reinhold jerking off in a bathroom, and then it all goes to shit.
I don't know, man. I watch enough porn that doesn't bother me.
Fair enough. Okay, that's true. I spend I don't even have to watch porn anymore. I can't even look at my Twitter on the bus anymore. I literally can't. Like I can't. If I'm taking the subway to work, I just can't open my Twitter because
I'm right there with you.
They'll call the police on me because it's literally just it's people complaining about movies and it's dicks just all the way down.
And people complaining about movies that have dicks in them.
Yes, exactly. And it's just not like I can't sit knowing somebody's like standing above me and I can't just scroll through my timeline because it's just going to be half extremely hardcore pornography.
Yeah, I made the mistake of handing my phone to one of my clients for a podcast I was producing the other day because someone posted a funny meme. I expanded the meme so like my timeline wasn't there, but she minimized it and scrolled it, and I was like, give me that back.
At least, you know what, though? It's nice to have the ingrown excuse now of being like, well, I mean, it's my job. It's fucking, it's Xbiz.
Yeah, but this is a mainstream actress I work for, so it's just
yeah, okay, that's a little different.
I mean, she knows, but it's still like,
There's a difference between knowing and then, suddenly, especially, and, there are like a lot of gay sex too, just because, I follow the accounts of every, major porn star on the planet. So it's it's cool because now a lot of them are starting to follow me back too, which is
because they think it'll help their careers.
Well, I mean, I think maybe on the lower level there might be a little bit of that, but believe me, there are ones who don't need anything. They're big names that don't need me as my little bottom of the totem.
Oh, if they think you can affect them getting an award? Oh yeah.
Well, I'm sorry to say I have no influence in that area.
Don't tell them
I'm
that.
I'm just shooting myself in the foot right now. No,
right in the dick. Right in the dick.
No, I would never. But no, it's it's odd. It's like I love working in the industry. Like I love, and I fell ass backwards into it too.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, how did you end up here?
Well, I'd worked in the sex industry before, and then I'd worked in like strip clubs, and I was a strip club DJ in Toronto for, a couple of years, and then way back when I put myself through college the first time. Ooh, wrong pipe. Sorry, give me a second here.
Well, that's the first fatality on the show.
Yeah, I'm about to keel over. No, way back when I put myself through college the first time, I was like answered phones at an escort agency, but I'd never worked in porn. But I have a degree in poli-sci and I have a diploma in journalism. And so And I had been a writer way, way back, but I hadn't done it in a long time. And then I literally got this job through a Craigslist ad of all jobs. And I swore once years ago that I'd never go back to working in an office, but this was like the one exception is I'll work in an office if there's porn. And it's just, it's like, it's a great place to work. I mean, and I'm not just saying that because I'm on a podcast publicly. Xbiz really is a great place to work. It's fantastic people there. It's like it's taken a little getting used to just being like through the looking glass of like sitting in a very professional office, but there is always, you know, something inserted inside of something else on my screen at any given time, and that's a good thing. It's like if that's not on my screen, that's when people are like, what? Why isn't there a naked person on your computer right now? So that's kind of nice. It's nice that the things that I used to get in trouble for are now the things that I'm expected to do.
The boss screen puts porn back on your screen.
Exactly. It's not that fake Excel spreadsheet that you used to get if you were playing like Space Quest. Now it's like it's a chick with a dick in her ass. So yeah, it's kind of cool. No, and then I'm just, again, like I say, I'm new. I mean, I've only been working in the industry for a few months, but doing Xbiz, like the award show a couple of weeks ago and working backstage and getting all the quotes from like literally as the winners were like getting announced, and they'd get their trophy and they'd walk off stage and then they'd walk right up to me and I'd have to get a quote from them. And it's literally like, these are, I mean, I don't get people, mainstream versus porn. No, these are some of the biggest fucking stars on the planet.
Oh, 100%.
Like by far. And certainly, believe me, like for anybody who's like buddies of mine back home, they're way more impressed by the fact that those are the celebrities that I'm talking to than they would be if I was like backstage at the Oscars or something. They give a fuck if I'm going to talk to Eddie Redmayne. No, they want to know that I'm interviewing Charlotte Stokely backstage.
Have you gotten the weirdness from your friends being like, so you're fucking everybody?
Oh, it's it's always the first question. It's always the very first thing that they ask is, so who have you fucked? And it's like, no, I'm a professional. I am there to write the stories.
I'm not here to be part of the story.
No, exactly. I am a professional journalist, but that's
why I say I'm not a journalist.
Yes. There you go. See, that's again,
I'm an entertainer. I am not a journalist.
My second mistake. No, you know what though? It's again, it's like I was talking about with you just before we started about how like I'm paying for porn now online, just because I feel like, you know, I mean, I'm like every other person who didn't pay for porn since the internet was invented, just never paid for porn ever again. But now it's like, okay, I just like had an interview with this person, or you know, like had a drink with them at a thing, and now I'm gonna like, and then you're like, okay, well, I'm not gonna, you know, maybe I won't jerk off to like the people who I've actually met, and then but then you've met everybody, and then it's like, okay, well,
the Europeans.
Yeah. Is that the secret?
That's my code of conduct. So my code of conduct is I don't jerk off to anyone I have not been inside of, or if I know you in real life, I don't jerk off to you unless I've been inside you. Then it's okay. Well, yeah, because then it's memories. It's
exactly.
Like, it's like, oh, hey, well, that's someone else's penis.
Exactly. You're just reliving the glory days.
Yep.
No, it never occurred to me because of, I mean, and it should have. It never occurred to me because it's masturbation, and so nothing's occurring to you except for what you're doing. But now it's like, no, I mean, these people working hard and making money, so I'm going to pay for their content now. So now I pay for porn, which is ironic because I get to watch so much of it for free all day at work. But of course, never take advantage of that. So now I go home and pay for the porn that I
mean, what is the office policy about jerking off in your office?
I mean, it's never been explicitly spelled out for me, but I'm using common sense. I've decided that it's probably a bad idea, so I don't.
Only if you make a mess.
Also, honestly, I mean, it's such a non-conducive atmosphere for that anyways, because it's an office. I mean, it's an office. It's not like people, it's that episode of The Simpsons when Bart goes and visits Mad Magazine, and I mean, they open the door and there's all the crazy shit going on, but at first when he walks in and she's like, no, it's just an office. But that's what it is. It's just an office. It's just like there's like this with fluorescent lights, and you're sitting at a desk, and there's other people around, and then it's like, so yeah, you're looking at porn all day, but there's a disconnect. You're not sitting there getting turned on by watching the stuff all day. It's
unless that's your kink to have other people watch you.
Well, I mean, that's another thing. But I mean, then I'm whipping it out just in the middle of the floor and there's HR people and it's a bad idea. But
I mean, if you let HR know first.
I'm just that was one of my concerns actually going in was that it's like anything else where if it's something you enjoy, but then it becomes your job and then you stop enjoying it. That was a serious concern of mine. It's like if I start working and just watching, 8 to 10 hours of pornography every day, am I going to start like not wanting to like see porn anymore?
Well, the other question is, are you afraid of like developing like erectile dysfunction from watching too much porn?
If that was going to happen, that was going to happen a long time ago. Believe me, that was if that plus they make pills for that now anyway, so
yeah, but you don't have money for those pills.
No, they're cheap now.
You're like, yeah, Blue Chew. Yeah. They don't sponsor the show. I don't know why I keep shouting them out.
You really should. You should get them on. I'm surprised actually. You could use a whole like constellation of people who would sponsor this kind of thing.
Well, I have sponsors, but they're not Blue Chew, sadly. In time.
Yeah. Come on, there's an entire pleasure product industry out there that
I know.
Yeah.
Like, I could directly market to... They're fucking up. They
really are. I mean, fleshlights alone. I mean, you have the girls that they're molding the fleshlights on the show. I've seen your roster of who you've had.
Oh, you did some research. Holy shit! Like
I did. Yeah, I went on the website and I took a scan through who's been on before. That's about.
You're in good company.
That's about as. Yeah, I feel like I'm like the lowest deserving to be on here. Although you've had some comics though that I'm friends with as well on the show.
Well, that's how this came about.
Well, yeah, it's through Brandon,
Brandon Brocato.
Brandon's a great comic and a fucking awesome guy. And I wish I got out to. I mean. Just going all the way to Venice to do, because I've done Larry's a bunch of times, but it's just so I don't drive, so it's just so fucking far to get out there.
Oh, I know. It's like West Side.
No, Larry's is a great place, and I really like that show too. Like it's a super fun show. It's just if you don't drive, it's like 2 hours each way. So to do a 10-minute set, and
for who knows how many people.
Yeah, sometimes like 3 families eating dinner who do not want to hear what I have to joke about. But it's actually I really enjoy going out there though, and it's if I drove and could live anywhere in LA, it would be Venice, because Venice is fucking awesome. But
not my cup of tea.
No, really? How come?
I like Hollywood. I love Hollywood.
Yeah, something I like. As you say it, like there was when I first moved here, I lived in Mid City, like sublet for a couple months, and then the first like actual place I had was I actually lived in a like an RV trailer in South Central. Like just at like MLK and Normandy, literally a guy had like an RV trailer set up behind his house that he had like the electricity and the water hooked up to. And so I was in South Central for like 6 months, or South LA, I guess they call it now. But so I was there for like 6 months, and like, you know what? I'm a fucking comic. I'm in Hollywood, or I'm in LA. I should live in Hollywood. And then I got really excited about it. And then I'm like, fuck it, I live in fucking Hollywood. How many people are trying to live here?
Exactly.
And now I have the coolest day job in the world.
You have a cool day job? You have a plush closet?
Yeah. Well, I'm stepping up from that soon. That's I gotta start, upward mobility. Once I've been at the job for, a while and I feel very secure.
Once this podcast doesn't get you fired.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, my concern is just that, I'm like, okay, I'm making, like an actual salary now, so I can go get a real apartment, and then I lose it tomorrow. And it's like, fuck, now I got to do Postmates for like 16 hours a day, every day, just to afford to, like eat ramen. So I always have the worry that everything can, like, even if everything's going good in my life, I'm just always convinced that like the next day it's all just going to go to shit.
I know that feeling all too well. But it was hilarious. Like when we originally set this up, you're like, I gotta wait till my 90 days is up before I go do this podcast.
I wanted to, yeah, and like I say, and I kind of mentioned it to somebody that I worked with, but I hadn't cleared it with management, and they were like, yeah, you should probably speak to somebody, because it's it's just to be prudent, and so I did, and shout out to the people at Xbiz who were very cool about me, doing this kind of thing. So
as I said, Xbiz knows who I am.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And it's a fun place to work. Like I honestly like. I mean, a lot of people's day jobs suck. And I mean, it's not like it's not the other way that some people think, where it's like I go into work and it's just blowjobs and fucking like naked chicks hanging around the office and craziness all the time. It's a job.
You don't run an agency.
No. No comment. We have sponsors. I'm not saying anything about that. But, no, it's Jesus Christ. No, it's a job, but it's a fun job. And then I get to, like I say, I mean, like 3.5 months ago, I was delivering food on a bicycle. And then like 2 weeks ago, I was standing backstage interviewing literally the biggest porn stars on the planet. They're so friendly too.
Oh yeah, they're good people.
I really, really, really like that. And I mean, it's not that I expected that, like them not to be. And I'm sure there, are people who aren't. But for the most part,
but that's any.
Yeah, it's anything exactly. But I mean, like these, like the women and the dudes, like the ones who are at like the top level, the ones who are winning Xbiz awards, like they're just so friendly and so. I like they're I don't know. It's cool. I mean, I like weird, cool, interesting, fucked up people, and like there's no better industry for that.
Industry's full of it.
Well, that's why I've been doing so much writing about the anti-porn movement lately. I mean, I don't know how into the weeds you want to get with that stuff.
Oh, we can definitely get into the weeds with it.
Yeah, I just like that's actually my favorite. Like as much as I love writing, like writing about press releases about Teen Bush or the latest faux cess release or whatever, which again, like I'm not.
Are you a Bush guy?
I'm like an in between where I'm like I like fully shaved is a lot, but I like a little bit, but I'm not into like the 70s, like the.
Well, I'm not into the 70s because like then my beard is in their bush, and then like whose hair is getting pulled where, and
no, it's also like I try to keep relatively well groomed. Just to me, it's like if I give somebody a bowl of soup and there's a hair in it, like that's a rude thing to do, right? So I try to keep like somewhat.
I got a mullet going on. It's clean right here, but my asshole could be a little less heavy.
Yeah, there. I'm just worried about like the logistics of dealing with that. Just seems like a lot of work.
Yeah, when I'm in the next tax bracket, I'll get waxed.
Yeah, exactly. That's next on my list. But no, I like as much as I love writing about that stuff. There's nothing I like more than writing about like the hypocrites, like I've been becoming my nemesis, the National Center on Sexual Exploitation, which used to be called Morality in Media for 50 years. And they're a religious fundamentalist group who figured out like 4 years ago that if they change their name to the National Center on Sexual Exploitation and pretend that they're trying to get rid of porn because it's exploiting women as opposed to just because they're a bunch of, weird religious prudes who think that women shouldn't take their clothes off ever. And so now they get quoted in the mainstream press all the time. But I get to write these stories now about like how they're these huge lying hypocrites. And it's so much fun. Like it's what's better than writing about asshole hypocrites who don't like porno, who doesn't like pornography.
This guy, I hate porn.
I can tell. I can tell. This podcast is your therapy, isn't it? This is how you work out your inner demons.
Oh yeah, I bring women on to be like, "Fuck you! I hate your career. You ruined my life."
Oh my god, yeah, that would be fun. When just a parade of like the biggest performers in the world walking in here and just being berated by somebody who used to be in their industry and is now just like, you ruined my life.
No, I don't want to be the guy who fucking started porn WikiLeaks.
Oh my god.
Yeah, the original porn. I forgot that dude's name, but yeah, he was an ex-performer who stirred up all that bullshit back in the day.
All that. I mean, even like Kanye coming out and being like, "Oh, I used to be addicted to porn and now it's terrible." And
yeah, well, Kanye fucking also being like, I married the biggest porn star in the world. No, you didn't.
Yeah. Well, also, I mean, now what's the shit that just came out where like everybody who worked on his last album, none of them were allowed to have had premarital sex.
Yeah, he's really steering into the religious thing.
He's really steering into the I'm a fucking weirdo thing. Well, he always was, but
he's steering into the tax shelter thing.
Yeah, well, him and Trump are like good buddies now, so. Or he who shall remain nameless, I guess. Speaking of, have they figured out who won the Iowa caucus yet?
Mayor Pete, it looks like.
It was looking that way, but then it was weird because it was only like 62% of the returns had come in.
Well, last I saw, it was like Bernie actually won the popular vote, but by Iowa rules, they're splitting the fucking delegates.
And he's somehow getting a couple more, but he declared victory yesterday when like 2% had come in. I don't like Pete Buttigieg. I'm not a fan. I mean, and obviously nothing to do with him being gay. That's like the best part about it. Like it'd be awesome to have a gay president. I just don't want it to be that guy. He's just such a. Somebody asked him the other day. They're like, "What's your favorite Beatles song?" And he's like, "Well, it would certainly these days have to be Come Together." It's like, dude, have a fucking opinion. Don't just say a thing.
Like, just don't be a soundbite guy.
Yeah, but that's all he is, because he's one of these McKinsey fucking, like management consultant guys, and he's just, no, I'm Bernie all the way.
Me too. I mean, you just gotta vote for the tribe.
Yeah, well, that's part of it. But hey, listen, there's some fucking terrible of our people out there too.
Believe me, the other podcast I'm producing involves a lot of Weinstein survivors. So.
There you go. Exactly.
Yeah. I've heard some horrible shit in the last month.
Oh my God. Wow. That's got to be a hell of a podcast.
It will be dropping in the very near future.
Wow. Talk about a downer from this.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You're going from let's drink and talk about porn to let's talk about survivors of a horrible.
Well, thankfully I am not on-air talent on that one.
You're just producing?
I'm just producing.
Yeah. Still, that's intense though.
Oh, it super is. Like, I've talked about this on previous shows. It's like, it has made me re-examine my views on like the casting couch, Hollywood, a whole bunch of shit. Like, the episode that's out right now, like I'm talking to the guest about that, where it's like, it's made me re-examine like my interactions, like drunk hookups, stuff like that. It's like, rape culture is really fucked up, and
it's really fucked up. It's crazy how much things have changed. I mean, and it's a good thing for the most part. I mean, obviously I think there are probably instances where it's swung a little too much the other way, but then you hope that eventually it kind of balances back, and as a whole, it's probably, a good thing as much.
No, I mean, it's definitely a good thing, but it's just like, we as dudes often don't get good guidance on that shit too.
Not at all. We don't know. No. In fact, certainly people in like our age range, like we were taught when we were growing up. It's like, oh yeah, no, it's you talk a person into it, or you not necessarily talk a person into it, but it's like, hey, you go out, you have some fun, and then and then you realize when this stuff comes out that, God, like half the sex that women are having, even if it's consensual, it's like that
under duress.
Not even under. I don't want to say under duress, but it's like resigned to being like, this is what I got to do to fucking deal with this.
Right, like this. I like this guy. Oh my God. I mean, I guess I don't really want to fuck him right now, but he'll bail if I don't fuck him.
Yeah, it's just like the whole ideas of like power dynamics and shit. That it's just like you said, like nobody taught us about that when we were younger, and it's good that it's now becoming kind of part of the cultural conversation.
It is, but it's there's still a long way to go, because it's like, it's on one hand, it's like, oh, you should be like, get consent before you kiss somebody, but I've definitely heard female friends be like, well, that was kind of a bitch move. He should have just known and kissed me.
Well, that was, I remember, because I was still married at the time that the Aziz thing happened. And I remember talking with my then wife about it. And because that's when that was being talked about. And the Aziz thing was, for me, kind of where it was like to me, that just sounded like a pathetic date.
Yeah, that's what it sounded like.
Like that he was just like and she kind of finally was just like, fucking fine. And blew him or whatever it was. And then started to feel uncomfortable. But then and then people were like, no, you need to ask permission for each. And so I talked to my then wife at the time. I'm like, would you like when we fucked the first time, like if I had been like, hey, is it okay if I touch you here? And then is it okay if I? And she's like, no, I would have thought you were a creepy fucking weirdo, and I would have bailed immediately. Like,
right? We got to be able to read the room a little better.
Well, that's definitely true, and it's just and. I mean, that's why with the Aziz thing, it was kind of weird, because then you're talking about like non-vocal like signals that he should have been picking up, which, I mean, there are some that are easy to pick up, but then, if you're kind of a drunk, pathetic dude who's trying to get laid and I don't know, it's all a very gray area.
It's all very situational.
Well, that's the thing. And I mean, I don't want to get too much into like where the lines of consent are, because honestly, I mean, I'm certainly that's a conversation that can land us both in Me Too jail somewhere.
Oh, I've been canceled a couple times over. It's okay.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'd prefer not to be, but
I mean, that's honestly was one of my concerns when I started producing this podcast. Like, I asked, there's a whole team behind this podcast, and I was like, so am I problematic for this show?
Well, but that's, something, I mean, just being in this industry for some people, that just automatically makes you problematic.
Oh, I know. And there's so many people that like can't see the difference between sexual assault and women who consensually have sex on film.
Well, but that's, or people who don't see the difference between like the group that's like, oh, there's a lot of, you know, like gangbang porn, or there's a lot of, rape fantasy porn, or there's a lot of, you know, like there's a lot of choking in porn now. And then people are like, well, it's setting a bad example for children, and it's
children shouldn't be watching porn.
No, well, that's a whole other thing. Or just for men in general. And it's like, but you know, these are people who are consensually doing a thing,
right?
And yes, there is obviously, like any industry, there is some exploitation in any industry. You know, I mean, the girls do porn thing's a perfect example but those guys weren't porn industry people. Those were a couple of guys they're
fucking scumbags.
Who were scumbags, exactly. But then people extrapolate that.
Well, they also like look at Hot Girls Wanted.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of it's. You know, I mean, that's why it's nice that there's a lot of, you know, female produced porn that's being made now. You know, it's cool that things like.
So don't look at porn as porn. Like, look at it like we were all fucking car salesmen. There are some unethical car salesmen out there.
Exactly. But that's not a reason to
never buy a car.
Never buy a car. Exactly. And that's where, again, like groups like I'm talking about, like Porn is the New Drug or and Cozy, or groups like that, where they're like, well, there is human trafficking that exists, and some of them end up as porn stars. So therefore porn is the cause of human trafficking. And it's like, no. Where do you buy your shoes? Like, what brand shoes are you wearing? Where do you buy your coffee? Do you sew your own shirts, and do you grow all of your own food? No,
right.
there's
do you know what wages someone's getting on, you know, fair trade coffee or
made your fucking iPhone? Exactly. Like
they have to put nets outside the factory.
No, that's what I'm saying. So for them, people pick their cause, and so for some people it's porn, but it's really like it's cynical and it's shitty because they don't actually care about human trafficking. It's become their way of like insidiously sneaking in.
Well, it's their way to have control.
Yeah, they have control, and to tell, for the most part, women what they should or shouldn't be allowed to do.
Well, it's the same thing with, you know, pro-life. Like, no, you don't give a fuck about those lives.
No. Yeah, if you gave a fuck about those lives, you wouldn't completely forget about them the second they came out. And also, because all those pro-life people are the same people who were anti-welfare and anti, state-sponsored childcare and anti-food stamps and anti any kind of, or anything that even remotely smacks of socialism, healthcare, or anything like that. Like, they really care about those lives until those lives are walking around, and then they don't give a fuck about those lives at all.
Or they also only care about those lives if they're not one of the people that it caused it.
Yeah, well, that's the other thing too. I mean, how many of these again? But I mean, that's in all of it. That's the same with porn, or the same with, you know, like the Duggar kids, or the same with, you know, these like super anti-homosexual like evangelists who turn out they've been, you know, smoking meth with like gay escorts the whole time, or like it's all these like overcompensating assholes who, you know, like they're these congressmen that are super pro-life, but they've had like 4 mistresses that they've had abortions with.
Yeah, I feel those protests too much.
Yeah, it's exactly what it is. But it's like to a point where it's like, I'm gonna run for office because I need to show just how much I'm not this thing that I am.
Yeah, I hate this thing so much.
Yeah, just take the blowjob, smoke the fucking crack, and live your life. Have some fun.
And run off. I would vote for the guy like, yep, I just fucked a gay escort, did some meth. I'm going to do well for you in office. I'd vote for that guy.
I'm from Toronto. We had that guy.
Yeah, and then he's dead now.
He died. That guy was a piece of shit. But the thing is, he was a piece of shit. Him being a piece of shit had nothing to do with the crack smoking and the hookers. I was fine with the crack smoking and the hookers. Like, that was like the best part about him. He was a piece of shit because he did things like close down drug prevention and AIDS prevention programs and
obviously because he wants people to do more drugs. He needs people to party with.
Yes, it's exactly. Did you ever see any of those videos of Rob Ford? Like the ones where he was like really cracked out?
I mean, we voted Marion Barry back into office.
Exactly. Well, it's exactly. And I mean, Ford was the Ford family, his brother's now the premier of Ontario, and his brother's even worse than him, but it doesn't have the fun side with the drinking and the crack and the hookers and stuff. But that's the thing. Like everybody, the scandal of our mayor is smoking crack. No, the crack's fine. It's the I'm cutting transit subsidies part that really sucks.
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah.
I mean, hell, someone who's on crack may be more productive.
Oh, dude. I mean, you can work fucking 18 hours into a day.
Right. He's like, I'm answering tweets and, oh, wait a minute.
Actually, no, that was part of his problem, though, is he would actually leave the office in the middle of the day to go get drunk in a park. he was an interesting dude, Rob Ford. But I'm just, like, it's just, I would definitely be more, I mean, listen, Obama came out and said that he did blow when he was younger and it didn't hurt his career. But meanwhile, like 20 years ago, Bill Clinton had to pretend he didn't inhale the pot he was smoking.
Yeah, right.
Like, and because that was a huge scandal that he smoked pot being a hippie in the 60s, that he had to actually be like, yeah, but I didn't inhale it. Like that, it's fucking ridiculous.
My favorite part about Obama was like, did you inhale? He's like, of course I did.
Yeah. Of course. Why? Who smokes and doesn't inhale pot?
Losers.
Yeah. Serious losers. Fuck, I used to have this button. I really missed it. I've been looking for it online. I can't find it anywhere. It was a pin. It had a picture of Bill Clinton from the 60s when he was like a hippie with a beard and the whole thing. And it said, oh, wow, I'm the fucking president. And it was fucking awesome. And I've been looking for it for 20 fucking years. If anybody who hears this can find me that button, send me that button, please.
My question is, how did he ever end up with Hillary? Because she doesn't look like she was ever fun.
Yeah, but she was pretty hot when she was younger. If you look, man, she was not a bad looking woman.
I mean, but he's into fat girls, so.
Yeah, but the other thing too is like, as much as Clinton is like, Bubba horn dog guy, he's also like crazy political policy wonk guy who's like, he's a very smart political, like he's very into policy stuff. And so she, so like I could see them connecting on
okay, she was kind of cute back in the day.
Yeah. No, that's what I'm saying. Like, but I think like they both are very politically minded. My thing with Hillary is like, I don't understand how like whatever bullshit in their marriage aside, I don't understand how you can be married to maybe the best natural politician of the last century and not learn anything about how to be a good campaigner whatsoever. How are you married to Bill Clinton and you still for that long and you're still such a terrible campaigner that you lose to fucking Donald Trump?
Ran the most tone-deaf campaign.
Oh, it was brutal. I'm convinced, and I've said this to a couple people before, I'm convinced that during those debates, when he was like, she was speaking and he was just kind of wandering around the stage, like being weird, if she had just turned around once and said, dude, what the fuck are you doing back there? She would have won in a landslide. Like just once.
Or if, she hadn't taken W. Wasserman Schultz into her fucking campaign after the DNC fired her for fucking Bernie.
Yeah. Well, Bernie should have been the candidate last time. And that's my only concern with Bernie now is that he's going to be fucking 80 when he takes office.
Hey, he's still younger than Ronnie.
And younger than Ronnie was at the end, but he'll be way older than Ronnie was at the beginning. He'll be 79. He'd be by far the oldest like president to start his first term at 79. Like Trump is actually the current one, and he started when he was like 72. But yeah, Bernie would be 79 when he first took office. I think Reagan was 79 by the time he got out.
He was 70 when he went into office.
Reagan was.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, Bernie would be 80, which means he'd be pushing 90 by the time 2 terms were up. And I don't care how on the ball you are. I don't know if I've ever met any 90-year-old, no matter how sharp they are, that I want necessarily running the free world.
Well, guess what? He doesn't have to have a second term.
No, that's true. I mean, it does. His running mate's going to be important. I mean, the dude did have a heart attack like a month ago.
He's good.
Yeah. I mean, listen, he had a heart attack and was right back out there again. And I mean, as far as, 77-year-olds go, he's pretty goddamn on the ball.
Right. I mean, he's not having fainting spells like Hillary did.
No, that's true. I know. I think like Bernie's great. I'm just saying like, it's weird to think about an 80-year-old being, or an almost 90-year-old towards the end being like the guy who's in charge of everything. But then look who's in charge of everything right now. We have no one is in charge of anything right now. The cognitive decline is I didn't watch the State of the Union tonight. I saw, did you watch it at all?
No, I was smoking a cigar and enjoying myself.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea. But, he must have been so smug too with the impeachment thing, like him. I get like politics is just such a fucking like a thorny thing to jump down the route. I mean, it's just be so easy for this just to be us bitching about politics for the next hour. But it's just, I mean, it's so shitty what they just did with this impeachment trial, like voting against having witnesses. Like, how do you? It's just like the brazenness of the cover up is just it's
not a cover up. You have to get away with covering something up to be a cover up.
That's true. It's not.
They are literally like, Fuck you.
Well, that's why, like, Mitch McConnell's the worst human being on the planet. I really like Trump's a piece of shit, but Trump is too addle-brained to actually like get anything done, which is like the one saving grace of.
Well, then his White House like actively works against him at times.
Yeah, well, which is good, and thank fucking whoever that there's somebody holding some kind of reins somewhere. But I mean, like, he's just his attention span is just, it's too short for him to, actually, I mean, I don't want to say get nothing done. I certainly wouldn't want to be an immigrant from a country south of the United States as opposed to one north of it. Like,
or if your skin tone was a little darker.
Exactly. Like, I mean, there's kids living in cages. So I'm not trying to like minimize that he has done.
That cage may be more roomy than your closet.
That's entirely possible.
And you get a fucking space blanket.
God, I'd give anything for a space basket. Okay, I take it all back. Trump's awesome. I'm just like he's like he can do shit around the edges, and he can be terrible for some people. But like McConnell, the shit that he does, it's just so like he just doesn't care. He's just like, fuck you, Obama. You're passing nothing. Supreme Court seat, no, you don't get one. It's yours for a year, but we're making up a new rule. It's a year before an election, so now you don't get to have one. Oh, wait, it's a year before Trump's election? No, now we get to, that doesn't exist anymore. Now it's so, like you say, it's just so fuck you in the face of everybody. And and this is why Democrats are so fucking, like, I mean, I'll take policy wise, I'm a fucking Canadian. I'm a goddamn socialist myself. Like, I'll take the left over the right any day. But as an organization, the Democratic Party is just so up their own ass. They're just so incompetent, and they can't.
Oh no, the Republicans. That's what they're so fucking good at, is like unified front.
Yeah.
No matter how horrible, like, it's coming from the top, no matter how horrible, like, we're not breaking ranks. They're a fucking phalanx.
Well, look at this shit that happened with this Iowa. I mean, I don't know when you're eventually going to air this episode. So for context, it's the day after the Iowa caucus. But
in reality, the Iowa caucus is still going on.
Well, that's true, actually. It's the day after the Iowa caucus started. And
by the time this airs, hopefully it's over.
No, God, by the time this, I don't know what your lead time is. By the time this airs, hopefully a lot of things have changed. But I mean, like, the fact that they went to this like company of like millennial, like 20-year-olds and said, okay, make an app for us, like, at the last minute. And then it turns out that like the guy who's the CEO of the company is Mayor Pete's like campaign chairman, and magically Mayor Pete is declaring victory when only 2% of the results are in, and the app is completely fucked up. And then they released this 62% number today, just the moment when Bernie is starting to pull ahead, but Mayor Pete is like, they so don't want Bernie to be the nominee, but they're just so transparently bad at fixing anything that but it's the same thing with, like you say, Hillary and Debbie Wasserman Schultz. Like, there are ways to fix things that don't come across like you're just ham-handedly saying, fuck this old socialist guy.
Right. So 71% have reported by now.
Okay, and where are we sitting?
As of 9:42 p.m. Mayor Pete is at 26.8%. Bernie's at 25.2%. Warren's at 18.4%.
Okay, but what do those numbers mean? Because, I mean,
so 10 delegates for Pete, 10 for Bernie, 4 for Warren.
Okay, and what are the actual popular vote numbers?
Let's see if I can see.
I assume you edit out the dead air.
Oh, no, we're just going to fucking...
We're just let it go?
Let it go. No, I'll edit out the dead air. It doesn't say what the actual dead air.
Because it was weird earlier, because like when that 62%, I couldn't figure it out, because like half the people were saying like Mayor Pete was ahead by like a percentage point, but then Bernie seemed to be ahead by like 3,000 popular votes. So like
Iowa's fucked up rules.
Yeah, where there's like 3 different levels. There's like the first ballot, and then there's like a second ballot where you can and there's the first resolution and the second resolution, and then the delegates split, and it's all it all just seems to be geared towards, let's make sure that Bernie doesn't win anything.
Yeah,
and Bernie's going to Bernie's going to destroy New Hampshire.
Oh yeah. I don't know why anyone else is bothering to show up.
No, which is another reason why they're saying that like maybe that they fucked up Iowa on purpose, is because they take away some of the momentum. If he had just run away with Iowa, he doesn't get to spend like a week being the guy who won the Iowa caucus. But he's
like, nah.
I'm hoping. I mean, I wouldn't hate Elizabeth Warren. I'm glad Biden looks like he's crashing and burning, because Biden is another like old guy whose brain seems to be turning to mush as we watch. I don't even know what's coming out of his mouth anymore.
See, he was just better as memes.
He was great as memes. And he was the perfect, I liked him as as vice president. He was fine as vice president. He got to be crazy old Uncle Joe, and he spouts off, and Obama would bring him in and he'd spout off his shit, and Obama would say, okay, bye, Joe.
They'd make friendship bracelets.
Yeah, exactly. And then, when they needed him to destroy fucking Ryan in the debate, he came out and he made a bunch of faces, and it was great. It was perfect. Like, that's what you want Joe for. But I don't want him to be president of the United States. Give me the old Jew. Give me Bernie. Give me Larry David as president. Give me...
See, that's what we're going to do. If Bernie dies, we'll just put Larry David in and no one will know.
No one will know the difference. No one will know the difference.
Like they did an ancestry test and they're actually
they're cousins. I know. Yeah. They're like eighth cousins or something like that.
It's ridiculous.
Well, I mean, listen, basically, you and I probably, if you're an Ashkenazi Jew, you're probably related to, like, at some degree to every other Ashkenazi Jew on the planet. Like, there were only so many of us and we were all in the same place for like 1,000 years. Yep, so I'm sure you and I are probably like seventh cousins if we looked into it.
Yeah. You don't have a sister I'm going to fuck, do you?
Nah. No, only a brother, so.
All right, cool.
All right, I'll introduce you.
Nice.
Ha.
You got big tits?
No, he lost all the weight, so not anymore.
I'm out.
Yeah, sorry, man.
I'm out.
Sorry, dude. Oh, my God. Wow, this really turned away from porn.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. This show often does.
I like that. I miss that. I'm drinking slow, though. I'm still fucking finishing my first beer here. This is why we did the Century Club, is because then we made sure that like there was this progression of like we'd start off like this, and then by the 100 by like the 75th minute, like half the guests would be vomiting in the bathroom, and the rest of us would just be talking incoherently about whatever weird conspiracy was going on.
So yeah, I generally drink hard liquor, but this is a self-service show. I'm not trying to get people trashed. If they get themselves trashed, bonus.
You got a church key? I'll start shotgunning.
I'd probably do somewhere. I also don't want you shotgunning on my fucking gear. So.
Okay, that's a fair point. Okay, I can just chug. I'm going to start chugging. Let's.
You can start chugging?
It's chugging time.
Cool. I'm almost done with my second, so.
Okay, I'm going to catch up right now.
For the audio audience, Drew is trying to catch up. It looks like he's about to spew on my gear.
God, no, are you kidding? I'm Canadian. It's my second beer. I'm not vomiting. It's just cold.
It's so cold. Oh no, the Canadians worried about it being cold.
I know. I'm such a fucking pussy about cold now, and it's so lame. I'm from fucking Canada. Not only am I from Canada, like I lived in Northern Ontario for like a while. I lived like not far from the Arctic Circle. I've experienced what minus 50 feels like.
So have I. I'm from Chicago.
Exactly. Well, yeah, Jesus Christ. See, if you live, and then exactly, I'm from Toronto. If you're from a Great Lakes city, then cold, and that cold, fucking nasty, like a knife wind that comes across and that gets in your bones, and it's just brutal.
Oh yeah, and then just hooking up with girls for warmth.
Oh my God, the number of times it's just like, oh, my house is too far, and it's like there's too much snow outside, and yeah, let's just go to your house. People here don't know. You know when you meet people here and they're like, I've never seen snow, and they're like, I want to see snow. No, you don't want to see snow.
No, you don't.
Maybe for like the first day, see it for a day, go up to Big Bear in the wintertime, look at the snow, say, hey, that's pretty, and then never see snow again for the rest of your life.
Exactly.
The first time you have to like shovel a car that's been completely submerged because the plow went by the night before is the last time you'll ever want to see snow ever again for the rest of your life.
My favorite was when I first moved out west, I still had an ice scraper in my car. And I had people getting in my car like, what the fuck's this thing?
They don't know. Yes. Like, are you opening paint cans?
Like, what is this thing?
Yeah.
Like,
well, when I murder people, I like to leave a very identifiable mark in their body. So
they still haven't caught me for that shit. So.
Yeah. Well, oh shit. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to give away your.
Good thing we're not live.
God, now I'm scared. There's an ice scraper around here somewhere.
Oh yeah.
Oh God. I knew I was being lured here for something.
Herpes and ice scrapers.
Herpes and ice scrapers. Fuck. That's going to be the name of my podcast.
Herpes and ice
scrapers.
I thought it was going to be the subtitle of 2 Jews, 1 Porn Star.
2 Jews, 1 porn star. Herpes and ice scrapers is fucking great.
Oh, that'll be the new true crime podcast.
Oh, dude, it'd be fucking awesome. The 2 girls, 1 micro might get pissed at us though for ripping off their name. They're already doing a porn podcast playing on that 2 girls, 1 cup thing.
Well, It's all up to the ratings and who downloads.
I actually haven't listened to that podcast yet. I've heard good things. I have yet to listen to it.
I haven't listened to it yet either. Someone else, they were on someone else's show I listened to, I want to say. That's how I heard about it.
I should. And then if for some reason you ladies are listening, I promise I'm going to listen to your podcast. They follow me on Twitter, so I feel bad I haven't listened to their thing. But I will, I promise. You're very nice people and you're friendly to the industry, and that's all good.
He hasn't listened to this show, and he's actually on it. So
that's true. But that's more just because I don't listen to anything.
So he's lying to you, ladies.
Yeah, I kind of.
He just wants to fuck one of you.
I won't even listen to this episode, probably. I hate it. I hate listening to myself talking.
I won't either. I'm just going to put it up.
Yeah. Okay, good.
No posting.
No posting, no editing, nothing. You're just going to
raw.
All that. Let's just sit here quietly for 5 minutes and then just put that up. And that's the podcast.
That'll be the promo clip of just us staring at each other for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Like,
with our similar glasses and facial hair. Just
just two scummy tattooed Jews just staring at each other.
Exactly.
Longingly.
No, this is great. So let's keep going. Let's drink more.
Well, yeah.
I don't know how long you is it how long do you go for? I'm in no rush.
6 hours.
I'm in no rush to go anywhere. So this is like
hours.
This is like a JRE kind of thing where we're just going to talk.
Oh yeah.
How is it weird? Is everybody's turned on Rogan lately? I mean, everybody was kind of on the fence about Rogan for a while. I mean, I like Joe Rogan.
I want to get into that, but I also need more beer.
Okay, yeah. Let me go grab. Hold on, because you have I
have a whole thing that I have to get around. This is the problem with doing beer instead of hard liquor is you have to get up to get more beer because you can't have all the beer sitting at the table because otherwise they get fucking warm. Hard liquor can just sit at the table. This is why I drink hard liquor, and hard liquor is superior. But Drew wanted Coors because he's a fancy bitch.
Yeah, wait, Coors Banquet, thank you very much.
Oh, say that into the microphone, please.
Yes, I'm drinking Coors Banquet. I like Coors Banquet. You can't get this in Canada. You can only get Coors Light. I had never had Coors Banquet. Well, I mean, maybe you can. I just never saw it. But I'd never had Coors Banquet. I really like this beer. I don't know why they bother with Coors Light. Just make Coors Banquet.
Because Coors Light is like a fuck up of other beers.
Yeah. I mean, if I'm going to drink light beer, I'm going to drink Miller Lite.
I'm not going to drink light beer.
Yeah, that's a good point, too.
Though, I know you asked for Coors Banquet. They had Mickey's fucking grenades, and I almost picked up a 12 over Mickey's grenades instead.
I haven't had a Mickey's grenade in so. I was going to get that tattoo at one point, the little hornet, but and I like to just have they still have like the little facts inside the caps too with the wide mouth the little
puzzles.
I used to really like those. Those were great. I have not seen. I also just like drinking from stubby bottles because we still had stubby bottles in Canada up until I was like when I was a kid. Like everything still came in stubbies, and I miss stubbies. They were cool.
Yeah, I'm like Mickey's because
I would have been fine with it. I mean, I can say Coors Banquet out my ass. I'll drink literally anything you put in front of me.
Well, now I know. Yeah. Now I know. I could have had Mickey's
for all those times you're gonna have me back.
We'll see how the numbers are.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm sure I'm going to be a huge draw compared to some of the people I've seen on your show.
Yeah. I just don't see you drawing as well as Lexi Laura.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I was going to say, do you want to listen to Karma RX or do you want to listen to Drew Fox?
Karma has not done the show.
Has she not? I thought I saw her on the list.
No, Karma hasn't done the show.
Okay. Do you want to listen to Joanna Angel or do you want to listen to Drew Fox? Yeah, I'm sure I'm going to far surpass them.
Definitely.
Although, in fairness, I used to be a semi-rock star. I mean, Canadian semi-rock star. So I still have a pretty loyal fan base in Canada.
Were you in Nickelback?
God, that's not even funny to joke about. Come on.
What? That you're successful?
Yeah,
you obviously were.
That would be great. Actually, that's another. I know being a comic, I'm always relating to fucking other comics bits, but Patton Oswalt has a great bit about Nickelback. It's like, yeah, they suck, but I mean, they could be like dictators murdering people for money and pussy, and instead they just go and then that's all they do. They're kind of heroes. But no, fuck Nickelback. No, I was in a punk band called the Three Tards in Canada, and we had a pretty good run. And if you can Wikipedia us if you like.
Oh, you have a Wikipedia?
Yes.
You're so fucking fancy.
That's how famous we are. We have a Wikipedia page. We had a pretty good run back in like the mid 2000s.
It popped up with 3 yards.
The number 3?
Yeah, it popped up with a 3-yard conversion. Oh. Not that famous. There we are.
There we are, yeah.
There's no space.
There we are. See, that's me right there.
And once again, not using the mic. Awesome. Says you're still active.
If you keep reading farther, unless maybe they got back to get together since I moved here.
Well, it says yours active 2001 to present.
I mean, we broke up in 2009 and then we did a bunch of like reunion shows, but we haven't actually played since I think 2014. But yeah, we had a pretty good run. But and so I just say that because like you might actually get some. I don't know if you count numbers from Canada, but you might actually get some Canadian listeners on this one.
I do.
Yeah, well, when we were doing the drinking podcast, we were getting about 1,500 people listening. So
nice.
Yeah, people like to hear me get drunk and stupid. So
no money was raised for breast cancer.
No, we raised like 10 grand for breast cancer.
Well, according to Wikipedia, you raised no money.
Oh no, that was just it for that one. We used to do an annual breast cancer show, and then like every year for like 8 years, and we raised a bunch of money. And then the very last one we did it outdoors in a town called Oshawa, which is just east of Toronto. It's a real. I mean, I love it, but Oshawa is like famous in Ontario for being like it's like a scummy kind of skiddy sort of town. It's like the Flint, Michigan of Canada. It's like a GM town where most of GM is left, and so it's awesome. It's a lot of fun though there because it's just a bunch of like crazy, like white trash people who like to party a lot. And so we used to play there all the time. And so we did this big breast cancer benefit, like in this big outdoor band shell that they had. But, we're called the Three Tards, and we have songs about like singing and or farting and dogs' dicks and shit like that. Like we're just a dumb, like we're a punk band, but we weren't like a political punk band. We were just like singing about stupid shit. We're like Dayglow abortions or like, I'm trying to think of like American equivalent, like Sloppy Seconds or like
I used to manage a band called Maggot Twat.
So there you go. Exactly. So exactly. And so, we got shut, like everything got delayed and we got on stage and we got like 2 songs in and the cops came and shut the whole thing down, even though we had a permit. And it was just, so we didn't raise any money for breast cancer that year, unfortunately. Sorry, titties. We let you down.
Well, you'll just have to manually go grope a bunch, give them the squeeze test.
Yeah. Well, I'll make it up to you in motion.
I mean, that's what you should just start offering at the Xbiz office, like free breast cancer exams.
That won't get me too'd at all. Hey, can I check you for lumps? Yes.
As long as you're wearing pink gloves, you're fine.
Oh, that's the
I mean, all the NFL players do it.
That's the loophole. That's true. Oh, actually, no, they only do it for one game because.
Well, yeah, but that's the one they grab all the tits.
Yeah, the NFL won't let them do it otherwise. God forbid they try to bring awareness to cancer on any other week, but the NFL mandated week where it's okay to bring awareness to breast cancer.
How did your punk band end up as breast cancer as your cause?
You know what? We did it the time because our guitar player at the time's mom had just I can't remember, this is like 15 years ago. Had either just been diagnosed or had just died of breast cancer. So that's why we decided to do it.
That's a pretty big distinction. You probably should remember that.
Yeah, it's a long time ago and I did a lot of drugs back then. And drank a lot. And it's all my early 20s are kind of a blur. That was quick reflexes. I don't know if you saw what almost just happened there, but
you're just looking for an excuse to take your pants off. I see how it is.
I know. I just keep spilling all over myself. That's just because I'm a handsy talker. That's the problem.
Handsy talker.
That's another defense.
No,
when I end up in court, sorry, Your Honor, I'm just a handsy talker.
I'm Canadian. I couldn't hurt anyone.
No. Yeah, because I've never heard of a terrible Canadian.
They don't exist, right?
Yeah, well,
except for Pamela Anderson giving all those people fucking Hep C, but
there's Robert Picton and his pig farm, and there are a couple Charles Ng, and there are a couple terrible. I mean, if you want to get into like the catalog of Canadian serial killers, we can go down that road too.
Yeah, they were just disenfranchised Americans.
Yes, that's all. They couldn't make it across the border. Oh well.
I mean, America is the world's capital for serial killers.
I mean, what do they say? There's 2 or 3 active in California at any given time.
Yeah, but we are like most of the country.
The thing is, I don't think you or I are like we're not the victim profile for serial killers. I don't think.
No, I mean my ass is sweet, but not that sweet.
No, I've never heard of a serial killer whose target was like slovenly middle-aged Jews.
No, those are mass murderers that go after us.
Well, yeah, but that's just wrong place, wrong time kind of thing.
Like we're at synagogue and
yeah, exactly. That's like don't go to certain shuls and you're all right. But yeah, nobody's like hunting us. There's nobody.
Oh, there's definitely people hunting us.
Not for those reasons. There's people hunting us for completely different reasons.
Yeah. Sadly.
Well, we are Jews. There's always somebody hunting us.
There's always.
We're always this close to having to run.
FYI, Ron Jeremy's at the Rainbow right now and he can't run.
When is Ron Jeremy not at the Rainbow?
I don't know.
I don't think I've ever seen Ron Jeremy anywhere but at the Rainbow.
I have seen him at conventions.
You've seen, yeah, no, and I've seen him at Sal's doing his stand-up act a couple of times, but
was he nodding off there too?
He's in pretty rough shape. But the last time I was at the Rainbow with a girl, he tried to do what Ron Jeremy does, which is,
wear like a puppet,
and shove his hand up her shirt and his tongue down her throat, and But I'll tell you something, and it is amazing to watch just how like his level of fame is like it's like president level fame. Like people go running from blocks away when they see him. Like he cannot walk 5 feet without being swarmed. It's crazy how I mean he's like more famous than people like Clooney and shit like that. It's
especially because he's at the fucking Rainbow. Like, well, if Clooney was at the Rainbow, it might be a different thing. But Ron's right fucking there.
No, he's always there. Yeah.
And the funny thing is, Ron does not like me.
I can't tell. The few times I've met him, I can't tell if Ron likes anybody who isn't somebody he might be able to fuck.
Oh, no, Ron does not like me.
Oh, no, I want to hear this story.
I don't know exactly what the incident that caused it was, but I'm fairly certain it involved me being very drunk at a convention in like 2011.
Oh.
And me and some friends were just being kind of dickheads at like 4 o'clock in the morning.
I
mean, it's the best I can figure because Ron has not liked me pretty much since then. And it's hilarious because I'll go to the Rainbow with people and they'll be like, oh my God, it's Ron Jeremy. I'm like, hi, Ron. And it's just like dirty look.
He just want anything. Hey, listen, I mean, I don't know. It'd be cooler if Lemmy was still there.
I agree. I mean, we definitely downgraded.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want to say anything bad about Ron. I mean, I don't really know the guy very well. He did.
Oh, I don't know him well either. He just doesn't like me.
I know his manager pretty well. And Dante's a nice guy, and I'm not going to shit on Ron Jeremy, but it's God, there's so many things I'm like avoiding.
You're like, I'm gonna dance around that landmine.
I know. I'm like the worst podcast guest. It's like every time we come close to a subject, I gotta like move in that direction. It's horrible.
At the end of the day, like I don't have anything against Ron. He just dislikes me, and I just laugh about it every time I'm at Rainbow because half the time I'm there with some civilian who's really tickled by the fact that Ron's there, and I make it a point to say hello to him, and then just get the.
Well, what is it they say? Like, if you live in LA, you're not really an LA person until you've had your run in with Ron Jeremy, with Andy Dick. Everybody has to have their Andy Dick story.
Yeah, my Andy Dick story's not that great,
but you have met him somewhere.
Oh yeah, multiple times.
Yeah, if you're in LA,
I mean, my favorite one with Andy Dick was. I was at Lost Property, which is a great tiny little bar right around the corner.
Oh.
And
I don't know it.
Well, you got the invite for Sunday.
All right. I'll be there.
Cool.
Fucking A.
And I generally, like, they're a fancy cocktail bar.
Okay.
So I generally order like a New York sour while I'm there. Because I love fucking New York sours.
I don't even know what's in that. I was a bartender.
It's a whiskey sour with red wine.
I've never heard of that before.
Like, it still has the whiskey in it, but it has a red wine float on it.
With like the egg and everything, like the full. Ooh.
It's really good.
Yeah, that does sound good. I've never heard of that before.
I got turned on to them at some point, but it's pretty much what I always order when I'm at property.
All right, I'm coming on Sunday.
And I order one, and then all of a sudden, like, Andy Dick is magically just next to me at the bar. He's like, I'll drink what he's drinking. And then he's like, I don't even know what this is. And just starts downing.
Did he try to fuck you?
No, thankfully.
Well, I don't know. I'd be disappointed because he tries to fuck everybody, apparently.
Guess I'm just not that fuckable.
You turned off Andy Dick.
I did. He got into a verbal altercation with someone while we were there. But
well, that doesn't surprise me either.
No, definitely not. Yeah.
But those are the peaks. Like if you live in LA, you're going to run into Ron Jeremy. You're going to run into Andy Dick. You're going to run into Nina Hartley at some point.
I've never run into Nina outside of a convention.
I did. I was in a movie, or I wasn't in the movie, I should say. I was a character in the movie based on me. It was I used to work this like fucking horrible telemarketing job in Toronto when I was like 17. It was a big scam. It was like a photocopy toner scam. But everybody who worked in the office was just a bunch of like weird, fucked up degenerates. Because that's what it is when you're. And it was the first job I ever had. I was 17 years old, and it was just surrounded by drug addicts and fucking weird pedophiles and fucking crazy drunks. And it was just, and the guy I worked with, a guy named Mars Roberge, who's a DJ, who's now a filmmaker out here. He actually made a movie about this place that we worked. And there's a character based on me, played by Spooky Rubin, who's a musician, he does a Sundays at Cantor's at the Kibitz Room. But it's just like the whole movie is just full of, like just every LA weirdo you can think of. So Ron is in it. Nina Hartley's in it. Keith Morris is in it. Michael Alec plays the manager.
But Michael Alec's like a fucking New York guy.
Yeah. Well, that was the other thing too, because Mars was from in New York, so it also had like Kyoki was in it too, and all like the club kid people were in it, and then all like the weird LA degenerate people were in it. So it was kind of this cool mix of just like all the weirdos you can think of from everything. It was neat. It was a lot of fun. But so Nina Hartley grabbed my ass, which is still a big plus for me.
But she didn't penetrate you. That's a bummer.
Yeah, well, you know what? I'm in porn now, so you never know.
You never know.
You never know.
Yeah, the last interaction I had with Nina, I was working for a performer, and she's like, "Oh, is this your new boyfriend?" I'm like, she's like, "No, this is my rodeo." She's like, "Oh, that's too bad. He's cute." I'm like,
she's like the nicest person in the world, too. She is a fantastically nice person. Again, going back to what we were talking about before, everybody in this industry is so fucking nice.
For the most part.
For the most part. I mean, yeah, like you said, there's just assholes everywhere, and I run into a few, but...
I'm pretty chill for the most part, but there are definitely people in this industry who do not like me.
Well, I mean, there's people in the world who don't like me, but fuck them.
Oh, yeah, I'm not losing any sleep over it.
Yeah. But, I mean, you seem pretty easy to get along with.
I am for the most part.
I'd come back.
Oh, good. Yeah, I'll think about it.
You'll think about it. Yeah, I know. I've been a scintillating guest so far, not really talking about anything.
Welcome to it. Now we drink.
All right. Well, come on, pick a topic. Let's get into it.
Well, I actually wanted to circle back to that Rogan topic before we got more beers.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Okay, so we were talking about because everybody's kind of turned on Rogan, and I think it's kind of weird because it's like when he didn't even really endorse Bernie. He just said on his show that
he was going to vote for him.
He would vote for Bernie.
And Bernie's like, yes.
Yeah, and then everybody else is like, how can you possibly let Joe Rogan endorse you or
advertise that Joe Rogan's endorsing you?
Yeah, and he's a toxic. It's like, okay, first of all, Joe Rogan is not alt-right at all.
No,
he's not. He is about as far from being alt-right. I'm not a big fan of the fact that he has Gavin McInnes on his show a lot, because I think Gavin McInnes is a piece of shit, particularly if you're from Canada and you got to deal with all their Proud Boy bullshit that's fucking everywhere. I don't like that he has Milo on his show sometimes. I'm not a huge fan of the fact that he's like good buddies with Alex Jones, but on the other hand, he'll talk to anybody, and that's just his thing. He'll literally just talk to anybody, and he'll talk about his weird conspiracy shit. And I'm not a big MMA guy, so I don't care that much when he has fighters on. But when he has other comics on, it's like one of the best podcasts out there. And he is so open-minded about everything. I mean, the dude says he's going to vote for Bernie Sanders. How can you think he's alt-right?
Right. And the thing about it is, the left started to fucking devour Joe, try to devour Joe over, oh, he's transphobic. No, fuck you. Joe didn't say anything except that he didn't feel that a former military veteran who transitioned to being a woman should be fighting other women in cages.
And you know something? And not only did he not, was that the only thing he said? He also said very clearly that he was, and Burr said the same thing, where it's they've said very clearly that but they're not sure that that's a thing, and they're like, listen, I don't know. And to me, it seems weird.
No, Joe went into pretty big detail about
with Fallon Fox.
Yeah, the Fallon Fox and the muscle mass and bone density difference of being a man for 30 years.
But again, wasn't the Fallon Fox thing that was 10 years ago?
No, it's pretty recent.
Oh, is he been talking about Fallon Fox again? Because I remember him talking about it 10 years ago when Fallon Fox was first.
Fallon's still fighting. So it's going to, in the last couple of years, the conversation has come up.
And I don't know anything about fighting, and I don't know anything about the biology of it. So I don't know. It's my understanding that when you take the hormones, your bone density goes down, and so it's
I don't know how much estrogen you have to lose.
Yeah, and I know, and I certainly don't know enough about it to try to sit here on a podcast and talk intelligently about it. But I'm just that does to me, that doesn't make him transphobic. That just makes him a guy who asked a question.
Right, it's the guy that asked the question about hey, should we be allowing this woman who is formerly a man fight other women? Is this potentially detrimental to her opponents?
Yeah, well, in the same way as a husband beating his wife. Which, and I don't know the answer to it. I don't know. Maybe it's not, and maybe there's science that shows that no, it's like that's not an issue, and I don't know. So, because I haven't looked that much.
This guy's not a scientist,
but I don't think that makes Joe Rogan transphobic,
right? And I'm amazed they didn't actually go more after his. Why am I forgetting Jenner's first name?
Oh, Bruce Jenner,
Caitlyn
Jenner.
Yeah, he had a whole bit on one of his recent specials about. Caitlyn.
Yeah, well, something though. I mean,
but it was fucking funny.
The whole thing with the Kardashians having, but the other thing with Caitlyn Jenner too is like, I'm all for anybody who wants to transition, but it's pretty suspect that like the moment Caitlyn Jenner transitioned also happened to be the moment when suddenly everybody forgot about the fact that like as Bruce, he had literally just killed a lady.
No, I think it was Caitlyn when he killed the lady.
No. He was still. It was like during as it was happening, but it's like it went from like that was the news story to like suddenly like being on the cover of Vanity Fair and winning the ESPY award for like, and it's like he just killed a person. No, well,
the rules don't apply to the rich.
Yeah, we don't talk about that anymore because
nope.
He's a hero now, or she's a hero now. And I will happily say she, and I don't like, and people get pissed off about I'll call anybody anything they want to be called. I don't care if somebody wants to, and like when the right starts getting up in arms about it, where they're like, what if I identify as a dog? Should people? Yeah, if you want to identify as a dog, I'll call you a dog. What do I give a shit?
I mean, if you want to identify as a dog, I'll throw you a milk bone.
Yeah,
cool.
It really like I will.
This will help clean your teeth, boys.
No, I'll happily call anybody. Like that's why, like when people like Jordan Peterson get like all up in arms and they're like, "Oh, you're changing the language on us, and it's not my responsibility." And it's like, no, it's whatever. If you tell me you want to be called a certain name or you want to be identified as a certain gender, I'm 100% on board. I'll call you whatever you want, and
I'll just call everyone bro.
Yeah,
what's up, bro?
Well, that's the only time when it gets weird is when it's somebody who's like who looks like one of us, and I mean like with the beard and the whole thing, and I mean it seems to be presenting as a male, and then you like, hey dude, and they're like, you shouldn't assume my gender, and it's like, no, you should assume that I'm going to assume your gender, and then if you tell me that you are actually a woman, then I'm fine with that. But
I've lived in California enough where dude is just good for anyone.
Yeah, dude works for most people.
Yeah, whatever you want to be called, I don't really give a fuck.
And I mean, listen, I'm a comic, so obviously I tend to err on the side of, I think anybody should be able to say anything. And I also realize I'm a straight white dude, so anything I say to certain people is going to be, to some degree, justifiably looked at suspect through some lens of some kind of privilege, which, is true. I mean, listen, I grew up in a place where I could walk down the street smoking a joint in front of a cop and they weren't going to do anything to me about it. And I get that for other people, like that wasn't the case.
They're in fucking prison for just that.
For the rest of their life. God, did you see that? Did you watch Super Bowl? Did you see that? Or did you see that the Trump commercial? The one with the middle-aged black woman who got out of jail for having been like, she got like a mandatory life sentence because she got busted with pot. And that's Trump's like new thing now is he's trying to like come from the left and win black voters by saying that like, I'm letting you guys out of prison, which is ridiculous because his administration's also been fighting against that policy the whole time. But it was just such a weird disconnect where you're watching this commercial thing and like, oh, I wonder which Democratic candidate this is talking about, like releasing
prison reform and
releasing people in prison reform. And then it's like Trump for America. And it's like, really? That's the kids in cages guy, but he let this old lady out. And so now he's a champion of the poor.
And he only let her out because Kim Kardashian showed up.
Yes, exactly. And he only let her out. It's not like there's like thousands of prisons are being emptied of nonviolent drug offenders. He let like 3 people out. And he just points at those 3 people and they go, yeah.
And he was distracted by Kim's ass.
Yes, it's exactly what it was. It's exactly and it was an easy, the whole thing with Donald Trump and how like he'll do whatever the last person in the room asks him to do. And so when the last person in the room is Kim Kardashian and she says, can you let this lady out of jail? Yeah, all right. Sign a name and that's all he's got to do is he loves signing his name. And that's all it takes to pardon somebody is they put a piece of paper in front of you and you sign your name. That's something he'll do.
How do we get back on politics?
Oh my, well, because we live in hell universe right now.
Yeah, the darkest timeline is like what I like to call it.
Yeah, it really is fucking weird. It's really strange.
It is super fucking weird.
I'm still like, I moved here. I made the decision to move to the United States in October 2016. And I was moving here in December 2016. And so obviously in between those two was November 2016. So I made the decision to move here fully expecting to be moving to, a place where Hillary Clinton was president, which is, whatever.
We'd be at war right now.
We'd probably be, I don't think that I think she's a pretty not very nice person. But I also think that she's competent, at least, to, manage other people and have a thought about a thing. I don't think that she's, people who try to be well, he's terrible and she's terrible too. It's I don't think there's equivalency there. I think
no, they're just terrible in different ways.
Yeah, I think
the prequels and the new trilogy.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. I just I think she would have been a fine president. I don't think she would have been great. I don't think she would have been shitty. I think we probably, unless we were within a very specific demographic of people, we wouldn't have benefited greatly from her. But we people in our situation, we wouldn't have been hurt by it either.
She just called Trump the prequels.
Trump is the prequels, and but now you're calling Hillary the sequel trilogy.
Yeah.
Then what's the original? Barack.
Apparently.
Yeah. All right, there's George W. Bush.
I mean, that was a war.
No, he's solo. That's what George W. Bush is solo.
That fucking movie. Fuck that movie.
Movie could have been so good. And then when it was the Lego Movie guys, and then they bring in fucking
Ron Howard.
And he Ron Howarded the shit out of that movie. That movie could not have Ron Howarded any harder if fucking Opie showed up. That was the most Ron Howard-y Star Wars movie ever made.
Well, the problem with that fucking movie was there were no stakes at all.
No, it was Ron Howard. It was a bunch of happy people having, yeah, I get it. Thandie Newton died and that was sad and blah, blah, blah.
No one gave a fuck about Thandie Newton dying. No one was attached to that character.
No.
And then you shoehorn Khaleesi in.
Yeah, which,
that is the dumbest plot point in the history of movies. Okay,
I'm not sold. I love Game of Thrones. I'm not sold on Emilia Clarke and anything I've seen her in but Game of Thrones.
I mean, I'm sold on wanting to be inside her.
Yeah, she is fucking hot. I would definitely say that.
I'm not trying to degrade her acting ability. I just would like to be inside her.
I did like that we did end up getting a fight between two Sarah Connors at the end of Game of Thrones, because Lena Headey was also Sarah Connor.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, and
Judgment Day came with dragons.
Yeah, exactly. And poor Linda Hamilton, she didn't get to be queen of anything.
Right.
Yeah.
Bring back Linda Hamilton.
Well, she is back in the new one, which sucks. I don't know. Have you seen it?
No, because I know better.
It's so bad.
I saw the trailer and went, nope, that's horrible.
I was excited for it though, because I'm one of the few people who like Terminator 3. 3 was all right. Salvation sucked and Genesis was terrible, but I actually enjoyed Terminator 3.
What's wrong with you?
No, come on. Terminator 3 was all right. But Claire Danes is hot, and
my boobs just get bigger.
Okay, she was a terrible villain, but I mean, Schwarzenegger.
Well, she was a downgrade from the T-1000.
Well, I mean,
the T-1000 wouldn't have been stopped by a door.
No, that's true, but she did get to have cool weapons come out of her arms and shit. I know. She was
she was a downgrade.
Yeah, but she was, and also, Christiana Loken's hot, but there was really not much more to the character than being hot and
she was a flash in the pan. What the fuck has she done since?
I don't think anything. It's like Nastasha fucking Henstridge after Species. They just disappear.
I know. Poor Nastasha Henstridge.
Yeah, she got to do a voice on South Park in the early years as the girl from Species, which tells you everything you need to know right there.
Exactly. Exactly.
But I enjoyed. Nick Stahl was good. Claire Danes was good. The car chases were good. Schwarzenegger was funny. I was fine with it. It wasn't nearly as epic as the first two movies, obviously, but it was fun to watch. It wasn't like a slog like Salvation was, where it's just there's no redeeming quality to it whatsoever.
It was bad.
And then Genesis was kind of cool for a little while, and then they're okay, but now John Connor is the Terminator, and it's
it was bad.
Yeah,
it was fucking bad.
So yeah, and Dark Fate's it's cool that Linda Hamilton's back, but
with Dark Fate, when it was produced by James Cameron, I'm nope.
Yeah, but isn't James Cameron has been at least somewhat of a producer but also James Cameron is, he's decided when Avatar is the hill he's going to die on now. He's just going to make Avatar movies forever.
Well, yeah, but the fact that Cameron didn't come back to direct was already a red flag.
Well, no, for sure. But you hope that if he's producing, he's at least making some kind of creative decisions, or
apparently not,
or at least, trying to protect the legacy of this great thing that he created once upon a time.
Nope. It's not Avatar. He don't give a fuck.
No, it really is. He's got, where are these Avatar, by the way? It's been 10 years since the first one, and he's supposed to be making 5.
It's been more than 10 years.
No, I think it's 2010.
No way.
I think that's when it was.
08.
No, I think it's 2010.
2009.
All right.
I win by Price is Right rules.
We split the difference. Hey, I've won the actual Price is Right.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Please.
Okay, first of all, Google Jack Black slap.
You slapped him in the face on the Price is Right?
That's me.
Yep, that is you. Wearing the same hat you're wearing right now.
Yes.
You're literally... Wow, that was mighty white of you.
Yeah.
So...
And then I went on and won the showcase.
And Jack Black sold it like he was an NBA player.
Yeah, he really did. And then it went crazy viral, and I did a bunch of interviews, and that was crazy. That was a few years ago. That was pretty crazy. But yeah, I slapped. So yeah, and I won the Price is Right.
You won the whole showcase.
I won the whole show. But by the way, if it's 2009, and oh yeah, that's right, because I said 2010, so I went over. But
that's right.
Yeah, I won the show. I won the showcase, and I had to forfeit everything.
Couldn't pay the taxes.
Yeah, they wanted like for like 37%. Like, and then I won because I got, what happened was, because I lost my pricing game. I got the second, or I got the first show. Like the guy passed me the shitty showcase because he won his pricing game, and so I got the shitty showcase. It was like 2 trips and 3 televisions, and then I would have had to pay like 37% on them because I'm Canadian. So they wanted like 14 grand for my supposed $30,000 in prizes. And then the way that they value them is crazy. It's like a 2 round trip coach tickets from LA to Argentina, they value at 10 grand, which is fucking crazy. So we want $3,700 for you to fly to Argentina. And it's like, for $3,700, I could fly around the world like 4 times.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I ended up, but then because I did all these interviews because of the Jack Black thing, and I kept mentioning how I had to forfeit everything. So finally they contacted me, and they're like, "Can you please stop telling everybody that you didn't get to keep the prizes?" So they sent me a check for $1,000.
No,
just to shut me up.
I would have kept talking.
I should have held out for more. I know,
yeah.
But at the point at that time, $1,000, I really needed it, so I took the $1,000.
Just be happy Jack Black didn't sue you.
Oh, dude, are you kidding me? He promoted it. I'm actually still waiting. At some point, this being LA, I'm going to run into him. And now I have my in for the conversation. Like, remember that time I smacked you in the head on national television?
Why was Jack Black there?
It was Celebrity Charity Week. So he helped me play my game, and then he was just kind of there cheering us on.
And then you slapped him in the head for it.
I slapped him in the head for it, yeah. Yeah, that was a fun day. That was a really fun day. That was like it was one of my goals when I moved to LA was I'm going to get on the Price is Right. And I was on it within a month of being here.
Well, I keep talking about, this has been a thing I've talked about for years, is organizing a Porn to Price is Right day.
You should do it. Absolutely.
Just me and a bunch of other performers and just all go do the Price is Right.
Well, and there's a way you can I read a bunch of articles about it, and there's a way you can get yourself on the show, and there's like a key to being where they're, because they say it's random, but it's not random.
Of course not. It's television.
They do this pre-interview, and I read it a bunch of articles from people who'd been on before, and they said they're going to pull you out in groups of 15 people, and the key is in your group of 15 people, you have to be the most over the top enthusiastic person in your group. So
I can do that.
Yeah. So I just went ape shit. Just full on, I'm so fucking happy. Not with the swearing, but I'm so happy to be here. It's my birthday. I can't wait to get on the show. And I had the shirt and everything. And I knew I was going to get called down after that. And I was the 3rd person they called down. So that was great. So yeah, go on the Price is Right. Just, win cash or a car, because everything else is not worth it.
I'm on it.
Yeah.
I'm on it. But I just want to roll there and be in the audience with 15 performers.
Oh, dude, that'd be great. Oh, it'd be so cool if a performer got on, too. If a performer got called down. Just make sure you don't tell them that they work in entertainment, because they don't call people down who work in entertainment.
Yeah, of course not.
Yeah.
Even though Adam D from fucking Kill Switch was...
Well, hey, listen, what's his name? Aaron Paul was on. Aaron Paul has one of the greatest Price is Right performances or guest spots of all time. You ever see that?
No.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You should sometime Google Aaron Paul Price is Right. It's
well, why don't we tell the audience since we're teasing it?
Yes. Google Aaron Paul Price is Right.
No, just fucking tell the story.
Oh, no, it's just, there's no real story with it. It's just it's before he was obviously Jesse Pinkman. It's before he was famous. He was on, and he's the way that I was just over the top, he does that through the whole thing. And it's still Bob, and he's screaming and jumping into Bob's arms, and it's pretty great. But
that's amazing.
Yeah.
I have a awkward Aaron Paul story.
Oh, wait, I want to hear it.
It's super mildly awkward. I was just over in Los Feliz, and I see Aaron Paul and his wife and his kid just walking like from down from Griffith Park, and I don't put together in my brain that that's Aaron Paul. I'm like, I know that guy. What's up, man? I like just waving at him, like frantically waving at, like, hey, what's going on? He waved back.
Well, that's nice.
It was really nice. It was just like, and then we walked away, I'm like, oh, that was fucking Aaron Paul. I don't actually know him.
Yeah,
Fuck.
that's not like my buddy from the bar. That's
Aaron Paul.
That's a famous person.
That's a famous person that I just think I know.
It's one of the weird things about LA. That's like, I mean, it's an obvious thing. So like, it's not like I'm saying anything that's, revelatory or anything, but it's like, like Toronto, you run into a celebrity maybe once every 10 years, maybe somewhere you'll see. Here, it's like every other day.
Oh, I've run into Bill Burr at Gelson's before.
Yeah, well, exactly. Like if you go to the fucking Hollywood Farmers Market, you will see Kevin Smith every time. And I mean, when I was doing Postmates, I like, or Caviar, like the number of famous people that I delivered food to, it's just, they're everywhere. It's all fucking Hollywood. I delivered food to Kim Gordon, which was like one of the best moments of my life.
Did you get a tip?
Actually, no, Kim Gordon did not tip me, which kind of bummed me out. Although I kind of don't blame her because I kind of just stood there slack-jawed at the door as I handed her the food because I knew it was fucking Kim Gordon. I had such a crush on her when I was a kid. So
she should still fucking tip.
Yeah, I was a little bummed that she didn't. And then like right before her, I had delivered food to one of the Duffer brothers and he tipped me really well. The Stranger Things guys, he's got a real nice house. The Stranger Things money's done pretty good for them. So
that Netflix money, they're just giving it out. Making it fucking rain.
Well, I want some. How do we get some? How do we get our hands on some?
I mean, it's a block over. We can just go break in.
That's true.
I should stop doxing myself where I live.
Yeah. Well, I mean, listen, Hollywood, everything in Hollywood is within 2 blocks of a studio or, production building.
Well, yeah, I've mentioned other landmarks near me.
Yeah. Well, yeah, they still have to, the Hollywood sign is only like a little bit that way and Netflix is only a little bit that way. And I mean, yeah, the Hollywood Walk of Fame is like 2 blocks that way. That still describes like
most of Hollywood.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, and I live in a much nicer apartment than most people would think I would. So
this is a nice place. I really like this area too. Like this, I love living around here.
Oh yeah, no. Now they passed statewide rent control. I'm gonna die in this apartment.
Oh yeah, I'm not like. I mean, we live in a house that I don't obviously don't want to be in the closet forever, but the house itself, like, no one's buying that house. So, like, the owner of that house is sitting on the house until a developer comes along and gives him enough money to tear the house down and build apartment buildings on it because the lot's big enough. So that house is staying forever. And I like that East Hollywood, almost Los Feliz kind of area. It's like just scummy enough that I don't feel like I'm too, like it's still kind of run down and fucking weird. And, there's still like a weirdo on the corner selling vacuum cleaners that he found in garbage cans. And
oh yeah, I kind of miss East Hollywood. I don't miss women leaving my house and getting hollered at.
Oh, well, that's kind of going to happen anywhere though. I mean, is Hollywood Boulevard's any better?
Well, they generally leave and go directly to their car here.
That's fair.
Where I was at in East Hollywood, there was no parking. So it's like, oh, well, you got to walk like 3 blocks to your car, girl.
See, that's where because we got the house on such a big lot. We got space for like 20 cars behind our house. Nice. We have parking. So, of course, I don't drive. So,
yeah, post-coitus, I'm really not about like walking anywhere.
No, of course not. No, I'll Uber you to your car.
Not even that, like, have a good life.
Yeah. All right. Fair enough.
Here's that mediocre dick. You're not coming back.
Oh, man. All right. I'm still way behind here.
It's A-okay.
No, I'm Canadian. I feel like a pussy here. I should be drinking harder.
Womp womp.
Yeah, I know.
It's actually about last call on this motherfucker.
Oh, are we getting down to it?
We're getting down to it.
Okay. I don't even know if I've been a good guest or not. I feel like I haven't said anything of any import.
Whatever. As long as the audience is having a good time with it, that's all I care about.
All right. Well, audience, have a good time.
Drew's like, I want to come back.
No, it's not. I mean, I'm not that I'm against coming back.
He's like, okay, I don't want to come back. Fuck
this place.
Fuck this place.
This nice apartment with cool posters and Shepherd Ferry poster. Very cool. Anyways, no, this has been super fun. I just, I feel like I haven't been as funny as I should be funnier.
Well, did I fail as a host and not give you good
Yes,
layups?
it's your fault.
It's all my fault.
I'm blaming you.
Blaming me for being unfunny. Got it.
No, you're fine. I'm just, I feel like I feel bad that I had to put restrictions on what I could talk about.
It's okay. And we still violated them, so.
We did kind of, didn't we?
Hi, Xbiz. Nominate me again.
How's it going?
Can I win next time, motherfuckers?
I really, really, really do like working for you guys, and, don't fire me.
I want to fucking win.
All right. I will, I'll put a word in.
I gotta go actually perform in something.
Yeah, that could probably help.
Yeah, I mean, the last non-sexual I did was last year. I played a father in, like, a triple girl, all-girl scene.
Ooh.
With,
So you just, like, walked in and, like, interrupted them?
No, I played someone's father. That's what I've been typecast to play recently. Like, apparently I'm fucking old.
Well, no, it's that you're listen, I mean, you're a MILF at 26 now if you're a female performer. So,
well, and the Kendra Spade played my daughter, who I legitimately have been sexually active before she was born. So,
I mean, exactly. I mean, once you're at that age where, like, they could actually be your daughter, then I guess it kind of makes sense. But
yeah, it's just like, holy fuck, I'm old. I could have actually fathered you. Fuck.
I want to write scripts for, or like, I really, really want to write feature scripts for porn. Like,
I've written some scenes. I've never written a feature.
I'd love to. I'd like the stuff that they're doing. Like the Wood Rocket stuff is so fucking funny.
See, what we should collaborate on the project I've wanted to get off the ground forever. Quantum Load.
Cool. Dude, that could be so good too, because I mean, you have different performers, but it's the same character.
Yeah,
who just keeps jumping.
Samantha Beckett
Just keeps jump. Samantha Beckett.
Samantha Beckett writing hookups that once went wrong.
Oh God! And then you've got. and sorry, I'm just. It's a really good idea. I
own quantumload.com, by the way.
I really, really like this. Yes, I would like to be involved in this project.
I've been talking about doing Quantum Load for years.
No. I really want to. Leroy, if you're listening, there might be a script coming your way called Quantum Load.
I think I've actually kind of half pitched it to him in the past. But yeah, I bought Quantum Load like 6 years ago. I own quantumload.com.
I would like to help write Quantum Load.
Because it's beautiful. Because you can have anyone play Samantha Beckett.
Yes. Well, and then it's always, you get 4 performers to play Samantha Beckett. She just keeps jumping into different bodies.
Yeah.
You just need the same person to play. Oh, you should be Al.
I'll be Al.
Yeah, you can be Al. And
I can do the Dean Stockwell part. Done.
And then Gucci takes on a whole new meaning, and it's just yeah.
And you just you got to find one static performer to be the mirror image. Because, whenever Sam looks in the mirror.
Oh, yeah, well.
Or it's not the mirror image because it's always, you see Sam until he looks in the mirror. But
okay, well, what if it was...
We just flip it the other way.
Okay, but what if it was... Now we're just spitballing fucking things here. What if it was a dude, like it was you, but you were jumping into female performers' bodies? So they were acting the way you would...
So I like it better having it like a female lead being Samantha Beckett.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. Well, because then you get to use the Samantha Beckett thing. I just think it'd be funny if it was like a dude, so it was like female performers acting like male performers.
But the thing is...
Sorry, this is this idea you've had for a long time, and now I'm here being like, no, you should change this. No, don't listen to me.
But you have the female performer can jump into male performers.
That would be fucking great, too. Dude, you could do so much with that. I really like this idea. All right, we're making Quantum Load.
All right, I guess I'm back into like really big in this industry shit. But on that note, we're actually going to wrap this motherfucker.
All right, on Quantum Load. Drew, where can they find you on social media? Where can they find your articles and all that fun shit too? Okay, well, I mean, go to xbiz.com and there are always lots of articles on there. You can find me on Twitter at Drew Fox Xbiz. You can find me on Instagram at Kill Drew Fox. You can't really find me on Facebook right now. I don't really use my Facebook anymore because Facebook is a depressing hellhole, and I've decided I don't really want much to do with it anymore. So, Drew Fox Xbiz on Twitter, Kill Drew Fox on Instagram, and xbiz.com if you want to read me, ripping into a bunch of fucking asshole anti-porn fucking losers. And look for us at the 2021 Xbiz's winning for Quantum Load. Quantum fucking Load. Fuck yeah. And
As always, you can find me at Matt_Slayer on Twitter, Matt Slayer on Instagram, Matt F. Slayer on Facebook. You can find the podcast at And Now We Drink on Twitter, and Now We Drink _ on Instagram. And until next week, drink up, motherfuckers.
Woo!